Part 1. Breaking news from the edge of the solar system. Breaking news drifts across the silence of the cosmos, and it finds you tonight, here in the calm of your own room. From the edge of our solar system, a strange interstellar visitor named 3I, divided by Atlas, has begun to reveal itself in ways that no one expected. What astronomers saw only days ago is unsettling, even haunting. Atlas, once thought to be a simple comet, is no longer behaving like one. Instead, it has become a spectacle, a riddle written in ice and light. As you listen, you may let your eyelids grow heavy, because the story itself is a lullaby, slow, mesmerizing, hypnotic. And yet, it begins with urgency. 3I divided by Atlas has grown brighter, larger, and stranger than anything predicted. Astronomers first reported that Atlas had crossed within 2 astronomical units of the Sunday. The distance, still twice as far as Earth itself, should not have provoked anything extraordinary. And yet, at this threshold, the comet began to change. Its atmosphere, or coma, expanded to nearly half the diameter of our Sunday. Imagine a ghostly sphere of vapor and dust stretching out until it could swallow Mercury's orbit whole. Its glow shifted to a vivid, unsettling green like emerald fire suspended in black velvet space. And most disturbing of all, Atlas sprouted a tail pointing not away from the sun, as physics dictates, but directly toward it. A tail against all reason, defying the ordinary rules of comet behavior. It was as if the universe itself had decided to write a contradiction in the sky. Researchers were stunned. The countdown to perihelion, the moment when Atlas would come closest to the sun, had begun. With every passing hour, it seemed less like a comet and more like a cosmic puzzle demanding attention. Yet as they scrambled for explanations, you can pause here, take a slow breath, and realize something beautiful. We are watching an alien time capsule awaken after millions, perhaps billions, of years of silence. To imagine this is to feel both small and infinite. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And if you'd like, write in the comments your location and the local time where you are right now. It always warms my heart to see where in the world you are listening and to imagine us all looking up at the same sky together. Now, return with me to that September night in 2025, when the numbers first began to slip out of prediction. Astronomers measuring the brightness of Atlas expected magnitudes of 15, maybe 16. Instead, the comet flared to 12, then 14, as if a hidden torch had been lit inside it. For those unfamiliar with astronomical magnitudes, the numbers move backward. The smaller the number, the brighter the light. A shift of just 2 magnitudes means 6 times more light. But Atlas was not simply brightening. It was accelerating, rushing up the scale like a heart beating faster under stress. The Comet Observation Database, known to professionals as COBS, began filling with data points rising above every model. Earth's amateur telescopes confirmed what the great observatories already knew. 3I divided by Atlas was breaking the script. It was outshining every expectation, as though announcing, "I am not what you thought I was." If comets are normally icy relics, passive travelers warmed into brief activity by the sun, then Atlas was something more volatile, more alive. Scientists turned to their most trusted explanations. Volatile ices, frozen carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, ancient water locked inside alien stone could erupt when touched by sunlight. Perhaps Atlas, forged around another star, contained reservoirs never before exposed. The sublimation of those ices, the sudden leap from solid to gas, carried dust and gas outward in violent bursts, swelling the atmosphere until it glowed like a lantern. In this version, Atlas is not dangerous but unstable, on the edge of fragmenting or exhausting itself. Yet even this natural explanation carried a chill. What if the green glow was not just chemistry, but the universe whispering that something unfamiliar was waking inside it? And here lies the part that speaks to you, the listener in the dark. While astronomers worry about data points, we can hear another story beneath the numbers. Atlas is not just a frozen body. It is a traveler, a messenger, a being carrying within it the memory of another Sunday. Imagine, for millions of years, it sailed through the cold, unlit corridors of interstellar space. It knew nothing of our star, nothing of warmth, until now. And when it crossed that invisible threshold, 2 astronomical units from the sun, it shivered into life. Its breath turned green, its light swelled, its tail rebelled against gravity's script. In this moment, Atlas is like us. Confronted by sudden change, it awakens, it resists. It becomes something it was not before. Ancient cultures might have read omens in such a sight. The Dogon people of Mali, for example, carry myths of Sirius, the star they call the seed of creation. To them, the universe is not silent, but full of messages. In that light, 3, I divided by Atlas, becomes not just a comet, but a seed, crossing galaxies to remind us that we too are born of distant fires. Its emerald glow, alien as it seems, could be a lullaby from another world, a call to remember that we belong to the stars as much as to Earth. Astronomers reassure us, Atlas will not strike Earth. Its closest approach remains a safe 1.8 astronomical units from our orbit, nearly twice our distance from the Sunday. There is no planetary panic. The true alarm lies not in collision, but in comprehension. We may be watching interstellar chemistry ignite for the first time in human history. To grasp this is to glimpse both science and poetry at once. As we continue this journey tonight, let each fact unfold gently, like the rhythm of your breath. The comet is racing toward Mars at 130,000 miles per hour, faster than anything our solar system naturally produces. It will sweep past the red planet at 30 million kilometers, close enough for orbiting spacecraft to watch. And yet, when it draws nearest to the sun, Earth will lose sight, blinded by glare. The peak of the performance will be hidden, as if the universe prefers mystery over revelation. But that is later. For now, in this first part of our voyage, remember only this: you are lying here, safe, listening, while far away, a wanderer from another star awakens. Atlas glows in green silence, its breath expanding, its strange tail pointing back toward the fire that should have pushed it away. It dances on the edge of understanding, haunting, beautiful, impossible. And as you close your eyes, you might feel the soft echo of its light brushing against your dreams, carrying you gently into the next chapter of its story. The story of 3 I divided by Atlas continues with numbers that refuse to stay still, numbers that climb as if they are alive. Brightness, simple, measurable brightness, became the first sign that Atlas was something far more mysterious than a frozen wanderer. In mid-September 2025, astronomers watched the data curves rise higher than the models, as though the comet had its own hidden script, one that no calculation could predict. It was expected to hover faintly at a magnitude of 15 or 16, visible only through sensitive telescopes. Instead, it surged brighter, reaching magnitude 12, then 14. For those who do not dwell in the language of astronomy, this might sound trivial. But brightness in the cosmos is measured backward. The smaller the number, the greater the light. A fall of just 2 magnitudes means 6 times more luminosity. To leap so suddenly is not gradual evolution. It is acceleration, a heartbeat racing out of control. The Comet Observation Database, or COBS, began filling with dots that broke away from the neat, upward slope of ordinary warming comets. Earth's skies confirmed what the databases whispered. 3 I divided by Atlas was not simply brightening. It was outshining itself, like a candle flaring unexpectedly in the dark. Some astronomers described the moment as thrilling. Others, more cautious, admitted it was alarming. In the vast silence of interstellar space, to witness a body flare with such intensity was like watching an ancient sleeper gasp for air. And indeed, that may not be far from the truth. Why would a comet, frozen for millions or billions of years, suddenly ignite with light? The answer lies in volatile ices, frozen carbon dioxide, water ice, exotic compounds, preserved since its birth in another star system. When touched by solar radiation, these ices do not melt gently. They sublimate, exploding from solid into vapor, carrying with them clouds of dust and debris. The comet's coma swells, reflecting more sunlight, glowing brighter with every breath. But rapid brightening is more than just a performance. It is often a warning. Comets that brighten too quickly risk exhausting their reserves, fragmenting, or collapsing into sudden silence. In that sense, Atlas's growing glow is not only beautiful, it is precarious. Now pause with me, listener. As you rest, imagine brightness not as numbers but as waves of breath. Each increase, each flicker of green light, is the sound of Atlas inhaling for the first time in aeons. It is awakening from a slumber older than humanity. You and I, safe here on Earth, are like distant witnesses to the slow, deep sigh of a traveler who has crossed the void. To watch its light swell is to watch memory itself come alive. The implications stretch far beyond numbers. This object was formed in a star system, perhaps hundreds of light years away, a place where conditions were utterly different from our own. It condensed from dust that never knew the warmth of our sun, from ices that never felt this kind of radiation. For ages, it drifted in silence, untouched. Now, as sunlight floods its surface, chemistry locked away since the dawn of its birth is awakening. Exotic ices that remained frozen in interstellar darkness are sublimating for the very first time. Molecules dormant for millions of years are breathing out into space. It is as though Atlas carries within it a time capsule of another world, and only now are we prying it open. There is a strange intimacy in this. The comet glows across unimaginable distances, yet it enters our awareness as something personal. Imagine sitting by a fire in the night, watching sparks leap into the dark sky. Atlas is one such spark, but magnified to cosmic scale. Its brightness is not just physics, it is communication. It is a message that says, I am here, I exist, watch me as I change. Astronomers remain cautious. They remind us that comets flare often. Outgassing events can surge and fade. Models sometimes miscalculate, but beneath their caution, one senses awe. To them, Atlas is not just another comet. It is only the third confirmed interstellar visitor in human history, following Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. Each came with surprises. Oumuamua, long and dark, accelerated without a visible coma. Borisov, more conventional, revealed chemical compositions foreign to our solar system. And now, Atlas, brightening, swelling, turning green, points its tail defiantly toward the Sunday. Each visitor writes a new chapter in the cosmic book. Together, they tell us that the galaxy is far more diverse, far more mysterious than we ever imagined. But tonight, let us not rush. Instead, breathe with the comet. Inhale gently as it glows brighter. Exhale as though you are releasing dust into the void. Let the rhythm of Atlas guide you into calm. You are not just listening to facts. You are sharing in the heartbeat of a wanderer older than memory. It is worth remembering that such rapid brightening has consequences. Some comets, when they flare too brightly, fragment into pieces. Others dim suddenly, their reserves spent. But in Atlas, astronomers sense something different, a process not fully understood, a chemistry untested until now. The numbers tell a story of acceleration, but the silence tells another, that we are standing on the edge of discovery. And in this silence, myths awaken. In Chinese tradition, comets were once called broom stars, sweeping away the old to make way for the new. In Islamic philosophy, the heavens are signs ayat reminders of truths beyond human grasp. And in Hindu myth, the churning of the cosmic ocean released poisons and nectar, light and darkness mingled. Perhaps Atlas, glowing green, is part of that eternal churning. Perhaps it is the reminder that the cosmos never ceases its dance of destruction and renewal. You may feel yourself drifting now, lulled by both fact and fable. That is as it should be. The comet's brightening is not just an astronomical event, it is a mirror. As Atlas shines against predictions, so too do we sometimes break away from expectations. As it accelerates into brilliance, we too find ourselves tested by light we cannot control. And like Atlas, our transformations are both beautiful and uncertain. The countdown continues. October will bring it close to Mars, and later to the hidden fires of perihelion. Each day it grows brighter, stranger. Each day astronomers watch, unsure. And you, listening here, can close your eyes, knowing that in the dark above, a wanderer is burning with emerald light, carrying within it the chemistry of another world. Let the numbers fade now. Let the urgency dissolve. What remains is the image, a comet swelling in brightness, defying predictions, its glow reaching across the void to brush softly against your dreams. That is the brightening mystery of Atlas, a story not just of science, but of awakening, reflection, and quiet wonder. The mystery of three I divided by Atlas deepens not only in its brightness, but in the chemistry hidden within its core. For millions of years, perhaps longer than the human mind can truly measure, Atlas has been a vault of frozen time. Imagine a body carrying within it the ingredients of another star system, sealed since its birth, untouched by the heat of our Sunday. Now, as it draws closer to the inner solar system, those ancient materials begin to stir. This is not merely a comet approaching warmth. This is chemistry awakening, the oldest memory of another world breathing for the first time. Astronomers suspect that the heart of Atlas holds volatile ices, frozen carbon dioxide, water ice, carbon monoxide, and other exotic compounds. In the cold silence of interstellar space, these ices rested undisturbed. But when the comet crossed within 2 astronomical units of the Sun, everything changed. Sunlight, fierce and unrelenting, reached into its nucleus. The frozen molecules, stable for countless eons, leapt suddenly into gas, bursting outward in streams of dust and vapor. To watch this is to see the comet's first breath, sharp and unstoppable. Atlas was no longer asleep. It was alive with motion, alive with change. This transformation is not gentle. The process is violent in its simplicity. There is no melting, no slow transition from solid to liquid. Instead, sublimation rips matter directly from ice to vapor. The result is a swelling coma, a vast envelope of gas and dust reflecting sunlight back toward us. It is this process that fuels the comet's growing brightness, that paints its emerald glow across the sky. But beyond the spectacle, there is something more profound. We are witnessing chemistry that may never have been seen before in human history. The materials locked inside Atlas could have formed under conditions utterly foreign to our solar system. Their release is not just data, it is revelation. Let us pause for a moment. As you lie here, listening, imagine that each molecule escaping Atlas is a story whispered across light years. Carbon dioxide, released in violent jets, carries with it the signature of an alien star. Water molecules, frozen since the birth of another planetary system, evaporate now into the blackness. Exotic compounds, names still unknown, join the cosmic chorus. To listen to Atlas breathe is to listen to the galaxy speaking, syllable by syllable. And in this rhythm, perhaps you feel your own breath slowing, finding harmony with the quiet pulse of the universe. Rapid outgassing carries dangers. Comets that awaken too quickly sometimes fragment. Their volatile reserves may be expelled in great bursts, leaving them dim, broken, or gone entirely. Yet, in Atlas, this risk is what makes the moment extraordinary. If it does fragment, it will scatter across the sky as multiple bodies, each one a shard of another star system's story. If it survives, it will continue its transformation, revealing more of the secrets held within its frozen heart. Either way, we are witnesses to change fragile, fleeting, and profound. But beyond the science, there is a more human connection. To speak of awakening is to speak of ourselves. Just as Atlas releases what has been buried for ages, so too do we, when confronted with the warmth of life, reveal what has long been hidden. The comet's chemistry becomes a mirror, reminding us of the buried emotions, memories, and truths that only emerge when light touches them. Perhaps that is why this story resonates so deeply. It is not only the awakening of ancient molecules, but the awakening of something within us. Different cultures might see Atlas in their own way. In Buddhist thought, all things are impermanent, forever, in transition. The comet's transformation, frozen stillness, erupting into glowing breath, becomes a lesson in impermanence, a reminder that nothing remains the same. In Hindu myth, the churning of the cosmic ocean brought forth both nectar and poison, creation and destruction entwined. Atlas, too, churns its hidden chemistry into the light, reminding us that beauty and peril often arrive together. And among the Dogon of Mali, Sirius is the seed of creation, the star from which life came. If they were to gaze upon Atlas, they might call it a seed from another world, scattering its essence across the heavens. Astronomers, cautious as ever, remind us that what we are seeing may simply be the natural behavior of a comet forged in colder regions. Its carbon dioxide, dominant over water, suggests a formation zone different from ours. In our solar system, most comets are water-rich, their CO2 a secondary presence. But Atlas reverses that balance. It is a creature of another chemistry, born in another cradle. Its awakening tells us that the galaxy does not write its recipes in a single language. Each star system crafts its comets differently, each one a distinct chapter in the universal library. And here, you may let your thoughts drift. Imagine the library of the stars, each comet a book, drifting on cosmic winds. Atlas, now open, spills its pages of ice into the dark. The letters are molecules, the sentences are chemical reactions, the story is a testament to diversity in creation. And you, listener, are not just reading. You are part of this moment, a witness across space and time. The chemistry that awakens in Atlas whispers also to your own chemistry, to the water and carbon and oxygen that make you who you are. We too are children of volatile elements, stirred into life by a star. The awakening of Atlas also sets the stage for what comes next. As it races toward Mars, then toward perihelion, its chemistry will only grow more complex. Outgassing will intensify. New compounds may emerge. Colors may shift again. The emerald glow may deepen or fade. The anti-tail may stretch into stranger shapes. We cannot yet know, but the awakening we witness now is the beginning of a story that will test the limits of both science and imagination. And so, tonight, as you listen, you may let yourself drift into sleep with this image, a comet far away, breathing out its ancient secrets. The air of another world, trapped for aeons, now spills softly into the solar wind. Its green light glows faintly against the stars, a reminder that life, chemistry, and change are woven into the fabric of the cosmos. The awakening of ancient chemistry in Atlas is not just a scientific event. It is a lullaby, soft, endless, timeless. Let it carry you gently into rest. When we call 3, I, divided by Atlas, a visitor, we mean it in the truest sense. It is not one of ours. It is not a comet born in the frozen reservoirs of the Oort cloud, nor an asteroid kicked inward from the Kuiper belt. It carries no history of circling our sun, no bond to the rhythms of our solar system. Instead, Atlas is interstellar, the third confirmed visitor from beyond our star's dominion. It comes to us from another sun entirely, carrying within its ices the chemistry of a distant birthplace. To see it is to see not only an object, but an envoy, a fragment of another world that has wandered across unimaginable distances to reach us now. Astronomers define its path with cold precision. The designation 3I says everything. The I stands for interstellar. The number 3 marks it as only the third ever observed. Its orbit is not an ellipse that would return it to us in centuries, but a hyperbola, a curve that ensures once it leaves, it will never come back. Atlas will swing around the sun once, accelerating under gravity, and then vanish forever into the galaxy. It is a one-time encounter, a fleeting moment, a cosmic hello and goodbye. The mathematics are merciless. Too much velocity, too much momentum, to ever be bound by our star. And so we must take what we can from this brief passage, for the story will not repeat itself. Its predecessors taught us how little we know. In 2017, Oumuamua appeared suddenly, long and thin, accelerating in ways we still struggle to explain. In 2019, Borisov followed, more conventional in appearance but chemically alien. And now, Atlas, brighter, stranger, and more defiant than both, adds its voice to the chorus of interstellar unpredictability. Each one rewrites the textbooks, each one a messenger with a different dialect. Together, they whisper a truth. The galaxy is not uniform. It is a mosaic of creation, each star system producing its own strange children. Think of the journey Atlas has taken. To leave its home star, it must have been ejected perhaps by the gravity of a giant planet, perhaps by the collision of worlds in its natal system. It drifted then, for millions of years, across the dark corridors of interstellar space. It felt the brush of galactic tides, the slow pull of stars passing nearby, the quiet influence of the Milky Way's rotation. Imagine the silence it endured, the long exile between suns. And now, by chance, by geometry, by fate, it has arrived here, where we can see it. To call it a visitor is almost too simple. It is a survivor of distances, so vast our minds can scarcely hold them. Pause for a moment, listener. As you rest in the quiet, imagine yourself as Atlas itself, drifting endlessly through blackness. For ages, no warmth touches you, no sunlight greets your surface. You are ice and dust, frozen and unchanging. And then, at last, a new star appears ahead, its light slowly growing. You feel the first touch of heat. You awaken. You breathe out what you have carried for eons. This is the journey of Atlas, a journey so long and lonely, and yet tonight you are here to share in its awakening. Science offers details that anchor the awe. Atlas moves at over 130,000 miles per hour, racing faster than any native body in our solar system. Earth, by contrast, ambles along at 67,000 miles per hour. Nothing born of this system could carry such momentum without help. Its velocity is the signature of its origin. It belongs to no sun, no orbit, no repeating cycle. It is the definition of foreign. And yet, by arriving here, It offers us a rare gift, a direct sample of chemistry from another star system. In its ices lie the recipes of alien worlds, frozen in pristine condition, untouched until this moment. The mythic imagination cannot help but awaken. Among the Dogon, Sirius is the seed of life. Among the Greeks, Atlas was the titan condemned to hold up the heavens. And here we are, looking at a body we have named Atlas, carrying the heavens' chemistry on its back. It is as though the old myths were waiting for this moment, prepared to wrap a story around a rock of ice from another world. Is Atlas a courier of messages, a titan bearing burdens, a seed drifting between stars? Science will measure its gases and dust, but myth will remind us that meaning, too, crosses galaxies. Astronomers, always cautious, confirm that it poses no danger. Its closest pass to Earth is nearly twice our distance from the Sunday. It will never come near enough to strike. The danger is not physical, it is existential. The danger of not understanding, of letting a rare gift slip away. For every interstellar visitor is precious. Before 2017, such objects were only theory. Now, in less than a decade, we have seen 3. Perhaps they are more common than we thought, drifting through the galaxy in silence, unnoticed. Perhaps our instruments are only now becoming sharp enough to catch them. Either way, Atlas is proof. We live in a universe alive with wanderers. You may find your breath slowing now, as though to match the comet's ancient pace. It drifts across space. We drift into sleep. In the rhythm of its journey, there is calm. And in the thought of its alien chemistry, there is wonder. Atlas is not one of ours, yet tonight it is ours to watch, to contemplate, to dream upon. It is a visitor from another star, carrying within it a mirror of creation, a reminder that the galaxy is vast, diverse, and full of stories waiting to be told. As it races toward Mars, then perihelion, its story will unfold further. But for now, let this truth settle softly in your mind. We are not alone in our chemistry. Other stars write other songs. Other suns give birth to comets that glow green, that defy physics, that wander for ages until they reach us. Atlas is one such song, one such story. And as you close your eyes, imagine that you, too, are drifting across the galaxy, a visitor carrying the secrets of your own world, waiting to awaken under another star's light. The road ahead for 3I, divided by Atlas, is not toward Earth, but toward the red planet. Its path has been charted with the unforgiving clarity of celestial mechanics. On October 3rd, 2025, this interstellar wanderer will sweep past Mars, drawing closer to it than to any other world in our solar system. 30 million kilometers may sound immense, but in cosmic terms, it is a brush of the shoulder, an encounter intimate enough for spacecraft orbiting Mars to peer at details invisible from Earth. To the astronomers watching, it feels like a gift of geometry, a window of opportunity. To those of us drifting into sleep, it feels like destiny. Atlas, a dancer on the stage of stars, bowing before Mars in a performance meant for eyes, not our own. Mars has always held our imagination. Red, barren, dust-streaked, it is a world of both dreams and desolation. For centuries, it has been the canvas of myth, the god of war to the Romans, the harbinger of change to astrologers, the imagined home of canals and civilizations in the visions of early astronomers. And now, by sheer chance, Atlas will pass close enough for the orbiters circling that world to become our proxy eyes. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MAVEN, the European Space Agency's Mars Express, all these mechanical witnesses may catch glimpses that Earth cannot. It is as though Mars itself, long imagined as a silent god, now becomes the sentinel, the one to watch Atlas as it dances past. From Earth, we will be nearly blind. By October, Atlas's position in the sky creeps ever closer to the glare of the Sunday. Superior conjunction approaches, that cruel alignment when the sun's light drowns all else. For astronomers on Earth, the timing is bitter irony. Just as Atlas nears perihelion and reveals its true nature, the floodlight of our star will make it invisible. But Mars is not blinded in the same way. From its vantage, spacecraft may still look outward, watching the green glow, the strange anti-tail, the swelling coma. Mars will see what Earth cannot. Pause and picture this: a lonely world, red and silent, receiving the visit of a green glowing wanderer from another star. The desert plains of Mars, ancient and cold, have seen no life we know of. And yet, above them, Atlas will pass, luminous, whispering in chemical breath. Perhaps, if planets could dream, Mars would dream of companionship, of messages carried across the void. We humans, through our orbiters, become eavesdroppers on that dream. The red planet becomes the theater, and Atlas the performer. Astronomers know this is more than poetry. Instruments aboard Mars orbiters may capture spectra of gases released by Atlas, revealing compounds unseen from Earth. Cameras may resolve details of its coma structure, its strange tail geometry, even hints of its nucleus size and shape. Plasma detectors may measure its interaction with the solar wind. Each observation is precious, because no comet from another star has ever been studied so closely before. Oumuamua and Borisov slipped past without such opportunities. Atlas, by cosmic accident, has chosen a path that aligns perfectly with our robotic presence on Mars. This is not just coincidence, it feels like choreography. The dance metaphor lingers, for Atlas is not simply moving, it is performing. It sweeps forward with emerald light, its tail flaring against reason, its coma billowing like a cloak. Each step along its orbit is timed by gravity, but each gesture feels like intention. As it marches toward Mars, it is as if the galaxy itself is staging a play for us. We are the drowsy audience, lying in our beds, lulled by the whisper of the narrator's voice, watching in our minds as this traveler bows before the red planet. Consider what this means for science. At 30 million kilometers, Atlas is close enough for spacecraft to see what our telescopes on Earth cannot, but far enough to remain safe from collision. If its brightness continues to climb, the images may reveal jets, fragments, or outbursts. If it dims, then even the most sensitive instruments may struggle. The outcome is uncertain, but the opportunity is unprecedented. Scientists speak of it with urgency, a golden chance that will not come again. For once, Atlas passes Mars and sweeps into solar glare. Its secrets may vanish with it. And yet, there is a deeper resonance here. For millennia, Mars has symbolized struggle, war, endurance. Now it becomes witness to something fragile, transient, and alien. The juxtaposition is striking. The god of war, observing the breath of a sleeping traveler. Perhaps it reminds us that even in places we associate with conflict, there can be moments of wonder. Perhaps it reminds us that the universe is not only violence, but also dance, not only chaos, but also choreography. You may find yourself drifting now, imagining Atlas as a dancer robed in green, Mars as the silent stage. The audience is us, scattered across Earth, lying in darkness, listening to stories that carry us into sleep. The comet marches, the planet watches, and we too watch with closed eyes, dreaming of the impossible. From the standpoint of physics, Atlas will sweep by at speeds exceeding 130,000 miles per hour, accelerating under the pull of the Sunday. By perihelion, it may reach 150,000 miles per hour. These numbers are astonishing, but here they transform into rhythm. Imagine that speed as a drumbeat, steady and unstoppable. With each beat, the comet draws nearer to Mars, nearer to the Sun, nearer to its climax. The cosmos keeps the time, and we are carried along in its music. This is why the passage near Mars matters so deeply. It is not just science, not just data. It is story. For one night in October, an alien traveler will brush close to a red world we have always loved and feared. For one night, our machines will become the eyes of humanity, watching what we cannot. And for us, safe at home, it becomes a dream we share together, a story we tell to fall asleep. When you wake tomorrow, the comet will still be moving, still marching. Its path is set, its performance continuing. But tonight, you can rest with this image, Atlas, luminous and defiant, passing near the silent plains of Mars, leaving behind no footprints, only light. It is a dance we will see but once, and then it will vanish forever into the night. After its brush with Mars, 3I, divided by Atlas, continues its inexorable march toward the Sunday. The date is fixed by the clockwork of celestial mechanics, October 20, 9th to 30th, 2025. On these days, Atlas will reach perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun, at roughly 1.36 to 1.4 astronomical units. This is just inside the orbit of Mars, still far from Earth, but close enough to feel the full intensity of solar heat. Astronomers know this is the climax of the story, the moment when volatile compounds buried deep in its nucleus will be forced to awaken. And yet, the cruel irony remains. When Atlas reaches this stage, Earth will not see it. Perihelion should be the grand performance. Jets of dust and vapor may erupt like fountains. The coma, already vast, may balloon to even greater dimensions. The strange anti-tail may transform, multiply, or fragment into unpredictable shapes. The emerald glow may intensify or shift into other hues as different molecules ignite under ultraviolet light. This is the hidden stage, the moment when Atlas might reveal its true identity. But from Earth, blinded by the sun's glare, we will see nothing. Superior conjunction will veil the comet completely. It will vanish into the light, like an actor stepping behind a curtain, just as the play reaches its most dramatic act. For astronomers, this is deeply frustrating. They have prepared for months, tracing brightness curves, refining orbital models, coordinating telescopes across hemispheres. And yet, at the very instant they need vision most, the sun itself blinds them. Even the greatest observatories, Hubble, James Webb, are forbidden to turn so close to the sun lest their instruments be damaged. It is a reminder that no matter how advanced our technology, we remain prisoners of perspective, bound to a single planet and its vantage. But there are other eyes. Spacecraft orbiting Mars may continue to see what we cannot. Bepi Colombo, en route to Mercury, might catch glimpses from a different angle. Even the Parker Solar Probe, skimming close to the Sun, could pass through the faint edge of Atlas's coma. The hope is fragile, but it is there. The cosmos closes one door, perhaps to open another. Pause with me here. Imagine a theater where the stage goes dark just as the music swells. The audience waits in silence, knowing something magnificent is happening behind the curtain, unseen. That is Earth's position during perihelion. We know Atlas is transforming under the sun's fire. We can only imagine what it looks like. And imagination, in the absence of vision, becomes its own form of seeing. Science offers possibilities. The comet may fragment, torn apart by heat and pressure. Pieces of its nucleus could scatter, each carrying a different layer of chemistry, exposing secrets never meant to meet the light. Or it may endure, swelling into an even larger, brighter spectacle, its coma glowing with new compounds liberated from deep inside. Either way, Atlas will not leave perihelion unchanged. The sun is not gentle, it is a crucible, and Atlas, Whether it survives or shatters will be transformed forever. But beyond the physics lies the poetry. Perihelion is trial by fire. In myth, heroes are tested by ordeal before they can reveal their truth. In Hindu tradition, fire purifies and destroys, separating what endures from what fades. In Buddhist thought, impermanence reminds us that all things pass through cycles of birth, transformation, and death. Atlas, at perihelion, embodies these truths. It is the stranger who must walk through flame, the traveler who must prove itself in the presence of the Sunday. You may find comfort in this metaphor. Just as Atlas faces its moment unseen, so too do we all undergo hidden transformations. We pass through crises invisible to others, trials that reshape us quietly, leaving us different from what we were. The world may not witness these inner perihelia, but they are no less real. Perhaps that is why the story of Atlas resonates. Its hidden stage is a mirror of our own. For the astronomers, the absence of data is agony. They speak of cosmic conspiracy, the cruel timing of orbital mechanics. For you, the listener, it becomes something softer. The unknown is not only frustration, it is also mystery. It invites wonder, speculation, even dreams. What does Atlas become when cloaked in sunlight? A shattered relic, scattering emerald dust? Or a phoenix, emerging brighter, stranger, renewed? In the absence of sight, the mind is free to wander. And in that wandering, there is rest. Imagine it now. A comet racing faster than any planet, more than 150,000 miles per hour, plunging into sunlight. Its ices erupt into vapor. Its dust streams into tails, one pointing away, another defiantly toward the Sunday. Its glow shifts and flickers. Around it, the solar wind roars, a river of charged particles shaping its plasma. No human eye sees it. Only the sun itself, blazing, is witness. The stage is hidden, but the performance continues. And you, lying here in the dark, are part of the audience, listening to the narration of an unseen act. The hidden stage of perihelion also reminds us of humility. We like to think we can measure everything, predict everything. Yet here is a comet that defies models, brightens beyond forecasts, grows tails that point the wrong way. Here is a cosmic moment we cannot watch. It is as if the universe is whispering, "You do not know as much as you think," and perhaps, as you drift towards sleep, you may find peace in that admission. Not knowing can be freeing. Mystery can be a lullaby. When Earth's telescopes open again in November, Atlas will be different. Perhaps brighter, perhaps fainter, perhaps broken into shards. Whatever emerges will tell us what happened in the hidden stage. But for now, we must wait. The story continues behind the curtain, unseen but not unfelt. So let yourself drift. Imagine Atlas in the fire. Imagine molecules awakening. Imagine tails bending in defiance. You do not need to see it to believe it. The hidden stage belongs to imagination, and imagination belongs to you. Close your eyes. Breathe with the comet. Let the mystery carry you gently into sleep. When 3I divided by Atlas first revealed its coma, astronomers thought they were simply watching another interstellar comet, obeying familiar rules. But by September of 2025, those rules began to unravel. Data from NASA's PHEREX telescope indicated that the coma had stretched to nearly 348,000 kilometers in radius. To grasp this immensity, imagine a ghostly bubble of gas and dust, half the width of the Sun itself. Within that haze, you could hide Mercury's entire orbit. This was not just unusual, it was unprecedented. No comet from our solar system had ever displayed a cloak so vast, so impossible. A coma forms when solar heat reaches into the nucleus of a comet, sublimating ices directly into vapor. The gas expands outward, carrying with it dust grains that scatter sunlight, creating the glowing atmosphere around the solid core. In ordinary comets, this atmosphere can grow thousands, even millions of kilometers wide. But Atlas's coma was something else, entirely an emerald storm that dwarfed everything astronomers expected. It was as though the traveler had decided to step onto the stage of the inner solar system wearing a cloak woven from entire worlds. Scientists immediately searched for explanations. The dominance of carbon dioxide in the coma, far greater than water vapor, suggested that Atlas had been born in a region of its parent star's disk where CO2 froze more readily than H2O. This chemical fingerprint marked it as foreign, distinct from most comets of our solar system. The green glow, caused by diatomic carbon, was superimposed upon this carbon dioxide haze, making the coma both chemically alien and visually haunting. The anti-tail, the strange plume pointing toward the sun, added still more mystery. Standard comet physics could not easily account for a cloak so large and behavior so defiant. Yet pause for a moment and let the science settle softly. Imagine yourself drifting in the darkness of space, approaching Atlas from afar. At first, you see a faint emerald mist. As you draw closer, you realize the mist is a sphere, so vast it swallows the stars behind it. You cannot even glimpse the nucleus within, so thoroughly is it hidden. It is as though Atlas wears a shroud of dreams, an aura too immense to comprehend. As you rest in your bed, safe and still, you may picture yourself floating at the edge of that luminous ocean, listening to its quiet hiss, breathing with its expansion. The sheer size of the coma challenges not only observation, but understanding. Gas velocities inside the coma were measured at levels exceeding those of typical comets. At similar distances from the Sunday, jets seem to erupt from specific regions of the nucleus, shaping asymmetries and fans within the haze. Dust particles larger than usual were present, grains heavy enough to resist solar radiation pressure, contributing to the sunward-pointing plume. It was a physics puzzle, written in light and dust, one that forced astronomers to reconsider the limits of cometary science. But beyond the puzzle lies the poetry. A coma, this vast, is not just an atmosphere, it is a boundary. Atlas carries within it the memory of another star system. Its coma is the veil through which we glimpse those secrets. To look upon it is to look into another world's chemistry, preserved for ages, now released into the cosmos like a confession whispered into the dark. What does it mean for us, here on Earth, to watch a cloak of alien molecules expand? Perhaps it is a reminder that the universe is infinitely diverse, that creation does not follow a single script. In myth, cloaks often signify power or transformation. The Greek titan Atlas, after whom this comet is named, bore the weight of the heavens on his shoulders. Here, the comet Atlas wears a heaven of its own, an atmosphere that spans nearly half a star. In Hindu stories, deities wear garments woven from the elements of the cosmos: fire, water, air. In African traditions, ancestral spirits are sometimes imagined as surrounded by luminous veils. Atlas, with its impossible coma, becomes part of that lineage of symbols. It is not only a comet, it is a messenger, clothed in a robe of stars. From the standpoint of risk, scientists assure us that Atlas remains harmless. It will not touch Earth, not even come close. But the size of its coma carries implications. If comets from other star systems can carry such massive veils, our models of cometary evolution may need rewriting. Perhaps interstellar chemistry is wilder, more varied than we dared believe. Perhaps our local comets are tame cousins, while the galaxy beyond swarms with giants clothed in impossible shrouds. For you, the listener, there is comfort in the scale. To know that such immensity exists, yet you are safe, lying here, is to feel both humbled and soothed. The coma becomes not a threat, but a blanket, spreading across millions of kilometers, reminding us of the vastness of the cosmos. As you breathe, you may imagine that you are breathing with Atlas, inhaling emerald light, exhaling into an atmosphere that could contain a planet. Its impossibility is your lullaby, its vastness your shelter. The coma also raises profound questions. What lies beneath such a veil? The nucleus itself remains uncertain in size, perhaps only a few kilometers across, dwarfed by the atmosphere it creates. Within that tiny body lies the secret, the ices, the dust, the ancient chemistry, a world so small, hidden inside a cloak so vast. It is a paradox, a reminder that power is not always measured by size. The smallest seed can grow the largest tree. The tiniest nucleus can create an atmosphere that dwarfs planets. Atlas teaches us this, not in words, but in light. And so we wait. As Atlas continues toward perihelion, its coma may expand further, glowing brighter, stranger, more beautiful. Or it may collapse, spent, fading into the sunlight. We cannot know. The hidden stage continues, and the impossible cloak remains. For now, let your mind drift into that image. A comet from another star, clothed in a veil that could swallow worlds, glowing emerald against the black. Within it, chemistry awakens. Around it, mystery unfolds. Above you, in the silence of night, the universe tells a story. That even the impossible can be real. That even the unseen can be imagined. That even a traveler from another star can wear a robe brighter than dreams. The coma of three, eye divided by Atlas, is already a wonder, vast enough to hide planets, glowing in emerald light. But even more astonishing is its tail, or rather, its refusal to behave like one. Comet tails are among the most predictable spectacles of the solar system. Solar radiation and the relentless push of the solar wind drive gas and dust away from the nucleus, always pointing roughly opposite the sunday. It is as reliable as a compass. Comet, sun, and tail locked into geometric order. Yet Atlas has broken this order. Against all expectation, part of its tail points toward the sun, not away from it. Astronomers call this strange structure an anti-tail. On Earth, it appears as if the comet has grown a second tail that defies the laws of physics, standing upright against the solar glare. In reality, the anti-tail is an optical illusion created by large dust grains. Heavier than the fine particles that usually drift outward, these grains resist the push of sunlight. Instead, they fall behind the comet along its orbital path, forming a structure that, when viewed from Earth, appears to lean sunward. Still, in Atlas, the phenomenon is exaggerated, almost theatrical. Its anti-tail is not a faint whisper, but a bold streak of defiance, glowing in the same emerald hue as the coma. Pause here, listener. Imagine a traveler walking into the wind, cloak whipping not behind them, but forward, flaring against the current. That is Atlas, a wanderer, resisting the rules, turning its light against the sun itself. In the quiet of your room, as you rest, you may feel a kinship with this defiance. For how often do we, too, walk against invisible currents, carrying our burdens in ways that look impossible to others? The anti-tail is not just a feature of physics. It is a metaphor of resilience, of rebellion. Astronomers study the geometry carefully. The length of the anti-tail, its brightness, its angle relative to the sun, all are clues to the size and density of the dust grains. From this, scientists can infer the conditions within Atlas's nucleus, how ices sublimate, how jets erupt, how material escapes. The anti-tail becomes a diagnostic tool, a window into alien chemistry, but outside the equations, it remains a spectacle. To see a comet point its light back at the sun is to see the sky itself contradict its own rules. In mythic imagination, this image carries power. The Greeks might have seen Atlas as a titan lifting his shoulders against the heavens, refusing submission. In Chinese tradition, comets were brooms sweeping the sky clean. What then is a broom that sweeps against the sun? In African folklore, trickster spirits often move opposite to expectation, revealing hidden truths by breaking patterns. Atlas joins their company, a trickster comet from another star, teaching us that not all light bends the way we think it must. From a scientific perspective, anti-tails are rare, but not unheard of. They appear in certain comets when Earth crosses the plane of their dust orbits. The alignment makes debris appear sunward. But Atlas's anti-tail is exceptional in its clarity, its brightness, its timing. Combined with the immense coma and the surge in brightness, it paints a picture of a comet unlike any we have seen before. Its very strangeness becomes evidence of its alien origin. It is not just interstellar by trajectory, but by behavior. Close your eyes now and imagine the comet suspended against the black. One tail stretches outward, away from the sun, the ordinary gesture of physics. The other, bold and improbable, leans inward, pointing directly at the fire that should have repelled it. Together, they form an image, both beautiful and unsettling, a cosmic contradiction, glowing green in defiance of expectation. As you breathe slowly, imagine each breath as a tail, one exhale drifting outward, one inward, a balance of opposites. Let Atlas's dual gesture carry you into deeper calm. The anti-tail also reminds us of perspective. From another vantage, it would vanish. What looks like rebellion to us is, from another angle, only dust trailing faithfully along its orbit. Truth is not always fixed. It depends on where you stand. For scientists, this is a lesson in humility. Even with data, even with models, what we see is shaped by perspective. For us, it is a reminder that our own lives, too, look different from different angles. What seems like contradiction may simply be alignment from another point of view. But there is also danger in such defiance. Dust grains that linger in the comet's wake can fragment, collide, or form trails that endure for years. As Atlas recedes from the sun, its dust may scatter across space, leaving a fingerprint in the interplanetary medium. If Earth were ever to cross such a trail in the far future, it might seed meteor showers in our skies. Though Atlas will never return, its dust might outlive it, drifting silently as a reminder of its passage. The anti-tail is not only spectacle, it is legacy. Let us consider the timing again. Atlas grows brighter as it approaches perihelion, its coma vast, its tails strange. By October, it will vanish into the sun's glare, unseen by Earth. Yet for these brief weeks, it reveals its dual tails in vivid green, as though showing us its truest face before the curtain falls. Perhaps that is the gift, to see contradiction made visible, to witness rebellion written in dust and light. And so, as you lie here, listening, you may let this image become your companion in sleep. A comet glowing emerald, one tail stretching outward, another leaning inward, a dance of opposites in the silence of space. It is both science and story, both physics and parable. It teaches us that rules can be broken, that light can bend against expectation, that even in the vast predictability of the cosmos, there is room for surprise. Atlas continues on its path, its march relentless. But tonight, you hold this moment, the impossible image of a tale that defies the Sunday. Let it be your lullaby, your reminder that the universe is alive with wonder, contradiction, and mystery. Breathe with it, drift with it, and let yourself fall gently into rest. From the impossible coma and the rebellious tale comes yet another marvel, the glow of three, eye divided by Atlas, turning unmistakably green. Night after night, images captured by astronomers across the world began to show the same phenomenon. At first it was subtle, a faint wash of color hidden inside the larger haze. But by late September 2025, the hue had deepened until the entire comet seemed bathed in emerald fire. To watch Atlas was to watch the night sky painted with a color more often seen in myths than in physics. The origin of this glow lies in chemistry. Molecules of diatomic carbon C2 are released as the comet's ices sublimate, freed from their ancient prison inside the nucleus. When ultraviolet sunlight strikes them, they fluoresce, radiating a brilliant green. This is not a steady color. The molecules break apart quickly, surviving only a few days before fading into simpler atoms. That means the glow must be constantly renewed, fueled by the steady exhalation of the comet's breath. In this way, the emerald aura is not just a color, but a rhythm, a pulse of life written in chemistry. But science alone does not capture the strangeness. Most comets show some green, but rarely so vivid, rarely so complete. In Atlas, the transformation is overwhelming, as if the entire being of the comet has chosen this hue as its mask. To the astronomers who measure spectra and plot graphs, the explanation is clear. To the dreamers among us, it feels like a metamorphosis. Atlas has not only awakened, it has chosen to wear green, like a traveler donning a cloak for its dance with the Sunday. Pause now, and imagine this transformation as you rest. Picture yourself in a quiet forest at twilight, where light filters through leaves, painting the air in green. The color is not harsh but soothing, neither too bright nor too dim. That is the feeling of Atlas as it glows above, soft emerald light against blackness, a forest in the sky. With each breath, imagine yourself inhaling that glow, letting it calm your body, letting it slow your heartbeat. The comet becomes not only a spectacle, but a lullaby. Cultures across the world have long associated green with life and renewal. In Islamic tradition, green is the color of paradise, a symbol of eternal gardens. In Celtic myth, it is the hue of the otherworld, both alluring and dangerous. In many Asian traditions, green represents growth, balance, and harmony. For Atlas to wear this color so boldly is to step into that tapestry of meaning. It is not just chemistry, it is symbol, it is memory, it is myth woven into physics. The emerald glow also carries a hint of omen. Comets have always been read as signs, heralds of change. A green comet especially evokes mystery. Is it rebirth or warning, blessing or curse? Astronomers, cautious as ever, warn us against superstition. Yet even they admit the sight is unsettling. It is as though the night sky itself has turned into a stage for something beyond explanation. And perhaps that is part of the gift. To be unsettled is also to be awakened, reminded that the universe is still capable of surprise. From the perspective of science, the intensity of Atlas's green points to abundant carbon compounds within its nucleus. This, too, is a clue to its origin. Perhaps the star system that birthed it was rich in carbon chemistry, producing comets unlike those we know. Perhaps its emerald glow is a fingerprint of another sun, another world. By studying its spectrum, astronomers hope to trace the processes that shaped it. But for us, lying here tonight, the spectrum becomes story. A green traveler carrying whispers from another star, painting our sky with its alien heritage. The glow also invites us to reflect on ourselves. We, too, are creatures of chemistry. Our bodies glow in infrared, invisible light. Our cells fluoresce faintly when struck by certain energies. Life itself is a dance of molecules responding to the Sunday. In Atlas, we see a mirror of that truth. Its emerald breath is not life as we know it, but it is activity, transformation, persistence. And perhaps that is enough to feel kinship, a reminder that the cosmos is not dead stone, but living process, forever awakening, forever changing color. Let yourself drift deeper now. Imagine Atlas as a figure moving across the night, draped in green. Each step it takes across the heavens is slow, deliberate, timeless. The emerald cloak flows behind it, shimmering with light older than memory. You are not merely watching, you are following, walking beneath its glow, letting it guide you into dreams. In this way, the transformation becomes your own. You, too, wear emerald in your sleep, reborn into a night painted with color. There is also fragility in this beauty. The green glow cannot last. Diatomic carbon is destroyed quickly by sunlight. The aura must be replenished constantly, or it will fade. This is why Atlas shines so intensely now, on the eve of perihelion, and why it may dim after. Its transformation is temporary, a fleeting mask, and yet, in its brevity, lies its meaning. Like the cherry blossoms of spring, like the breath of a newborn, the emerald light is precious because it does not endure. Astronomers will measure it carefully. They will calibrate their instruments, compare spectra, publish results. But outside their data, something else lingers. The emerald glow is an invitation to wonder, to dream, to let ourselves be carried into the unknown. It reminds us that the cosmos is not finished, not predictable, not tame. There are still colors we cannot explain, still lights that appear without warning. And sometimes, those lights arrive not from our sun, but from the stars beyond. As Atlas moves closer to perihelion, its green cloak may shimmer brighter, or it may vanish suddenly. We cannot know. But tonight, you can hold the image in your mind, a comet wrapped in emerald, breathing out light from another world. Let it soothe you, let it calm you, let it remind you that beauty is often fleeting, and that fleeting beauty is what makes life tender. So breathe slowly. Inhale the emerald light. Exhale into the darkness. Let Atlas carry you deeper into sleep, its transformation unfolding above, a traveler draped in colors both alien and familiar. For in the end, the emerald glow is not only the comet's, it is yours as well, shared in imagination, reflected in dream. The emerald glow of 3I divided by Atlas is breathtaking, but seeing it is no simple task. Astronomers speak often of opportunity, yet with Atlas, opportunity comes wrapped in difficulty. Its path, while mathematically predictable, leads it closer and closer to the sun in Earth's skies. By late September and into October 2025, the comet drifts into the glare, that merciless brightness that drowns everything around it. For telescopes on Earth, this is the great frustration. Just when Atlas grows most active, most dramatic, our vantage point grows weakest. Observing comets has always been a delicate art. They are faint, diffuse, their light spread across wide regions of sky. Unlike stars, which shine like points, comets are soft, hazy, vulnerable to atmospheric interference. Even under the best conditions, their details blur. Add the overwhelming presence of the sun nearby, and the challenge multiplies. It is as though one is asked to hear a whisper while standing next to a roaring waterfall. The whisper is there, but the noise drowns it out. For Atlas, the whisper is emerald light. The noise is the unyielding blaze of our star. Professional astronomers turn to strategies, dawn and dusk observations, where the comet is just above the horizon while the sun is below it. Space-based observatories like SOHO and Stereo, designed to watch the sun, sometimes catch comets as accidental guests in their cameras. Even Mars orbiters may provide perspective, as Atlas sweeps by the red planet, but no matter the tools, the difficulty remains. The timing of Atlas's brightest phase coincides almost perfectly with Earth's blindness. The cosmos has chosen, it seems, to keep part of its story veiled. Pause with me, listener. Imagine yourself in a theater again, where the music swells, the actors move, but a curtain drops between you and the stage. You hear the sound, you sense the energy, but you cannot see. That is our role with Atlas during conjunction. We know it is there, transforming, erupting, glowing, but we cannot watch. And perhaps, in that hiddenness, there is a strange gift. Mystery is preserved. Imagination is invited. The universe reminds us that not all knowledge is given easily. The challenge of observation is not only technical, but emotional. For scientists, it is a test of patience, a reminder of limits. They can calculate perihelion to the second, predict trajectories across decades, yet still they cannot pierce the sun's glare. Data must wait, eyes must rest. It is a humbling truth. In the vast arena of the cosmos, we remain small, bound by perspective. For you, drifting into sleep, it becomes a lesson as well. Not everything needs to be seen to be real. Some truths are meant to be felt, trusted, imagined. Still, efforts continue. Observatories around the world coordinate, hoping to catch glimpses at twilight. Amateur astronomers, scattered across continents, turn their telescopes skyward, recording fleeting images when the sky allows. Some succeed, capturing faint streaks of emerald, proof that Atlas still breathes. Others fail, seeing only glare. And yet, the pursuit itself matters. To seek a comet in the light of the sun is to participate in an ancient tradition, humans stretching their vision toward the heavens, determined to glimpse what lies beyond. Consider too how fragile such glimpses are. A cloud, a shift of weather, an instrument malfunction, and the moment is lost. Comets do not wait. They move relentlessly, their pace set by gravity and the laws of motion. Atlas will not pause for our convenience. It marches on, indifferent to our frustration. And in this indifference, there is a lesson. The universe does not bend to us. We must bend to it, adjust our eyes, our tools, our expectations. From a scientific standpoint, the challenge of observing Atlas may yield innovation. New software to filter glare, new coordination between solar observatories, new ways of thinking about interstellar bodies. Limitations often birth creativity. Perhaps, in struggling to see Atlas, we will discover better ways to watch the next visitor. But in the moment, the struggle is real. Astronomers call it a cosmic conspiracy, the way the geometry hides the very act they wish to witness. You, listening now, may feel a kinship with that struggle. How often in life do we sense that the most important changes happen out of sight? How often are our transformations hidden from others, occurring in silence, behind curtains? Atlas becomes a mirror of that truth. Its greatest moment of change will be unseen. But unseen does not mean unreal. The comet reminds us, absence of sight is not absence of being. Close your eyes now and imagine the scene. A faint green shimmer hovers low at twilight, almost lost in gold and crimson. You strain to see it, but the sun's brightness washes over everything. And then, for just a moment, the shimmer strengthens, a breath of emerald through the glare. That is Atlas, whispering, "I am still here." Let that whisper be enough. Let it soothe you. You do not need the whole picture to find meaning. The challenge of observation also invites humility before scale. Our instruments are mighty, but the cosmos is mightier. The sun itself is the reason for our blindness, and the sun is also the reason Atlas glows at all. The same light that hides it also awakens it. The contradiction is profound. To lose sight is also to create sight. Without the sun's fire, Atlas would remain dark and frozen. Because of the sun's fire, we cannot see its brightest hour. Gain and loss, vision and blindness, bound together. And perhaps that is the deeper lullaby tonight. We do not need to control every moment. We do not need to see everything to believe it. The cosmos asks us to trust, to imagine, to wait. Atlas is there, emerald and immense, hidden for now, revealed again later. Like so many things in life, it teaches us patience. So breathe with it. Inhale slowly, as though drawing in its emerald light. Exhale gently, as though releasing it back into the sky. Let the challenge of observation become the comfort of surrender. The comet is real, the glow continues, even when our eyes cannot follow. And in that trust, in that surrender, there is peace. Even as Earth's skies began to lose sight of three, eye divided by Atlas, unease grew among those who had watched it most closely. Astronomers are trained to temper their words, to cloak excitement in caution, to weigh every claim against data. Yet, in private correspondence, in late-night talks at observatories, a new phrase began to slip into their language: alarming. Atlas was no longer simply interesting. Its behavior was unsettling. The first cause of alarm was its brightness curve. Standard models predicted a slow, steady brightening as the comet approached the Sun, with occasional surges caused by outgassing events. But Atlas had leapt beyond these predictions, rising in brightness at a rate that suggested instability. Was the nucleus fragmenting? Were internal pressures building to a catastrophic rupture? Astronomers whispered of possibilities, each more concerning than the last. If Atlas disintegrated at perihelion, it would be spectacular, but scientifically tragic. The chance to study an intact interstellar comet would vanish in a cloud of dust. The second cause was the coma itself. Its size, already immense, kept growing. Instruments measured gas velocities higher than anticipated, dust grains larger than expected. The emerald glow, so beautiful to the public, hinted to specialists at volatile chemistry straining against structural limits. Some feared that the comet was too fragile to survive its close encounter with the Sunday. The very features that made it extraordinary also made it precarious. And then there was the anti-tail, the bold streak pointing sunward. To the trained eye, it meant the nucleus was shedding unusually heavy material, particles that would normally remain trapped. This, too, spoke of instability. Atlas was not quietly warming. It was convulsing, shedding, changing in ways that resisted neat explanation. For the scientific community, the comet was not only a marvel, but a warning, a reminder of how little we understand about interstellar visitors. Pause here and imagine the mood in those observatories. Picture men and women hunched over screens, their faces lit by graphs of brightness, by spectra of emerald lines. They are trained in skepticism, yet even they cannot ignore the feeling rising in their chests. Something is happening, something bigger than their equations. In their silence lies the same whisper you feel as you listen. The universe is alive with surprises, and not all of them are gentle. The alarm was not only scientific, it was also existential. Atlas, after all, is only the third interstellar visitor we have ever seen. Oumuamua arrived and departed in 2017, leaving only puzzles. Borisov followed in 2019, more comet-like, but chemically alien. Now Atlas has come, brighter and stranger than both. 3 in less than a decade. Could it be that the galaxy is filled with such wanderers, passing unnoticed until our instruments grew sharp enough to catch them? And if so, what else drifts out there in the dark? Some astronomers speculated openly. What if Atlas carried more than chemistry? Could fragments of interstellar dust seeded by comets like this one play a role in spreading the building blocks of life? Could panspermia, long dismissed as fringe, find evidence in such visitors? Others, more cautious, resisted such leaps. But the questions lingered. Atlas was not just a comet, it was a messenger, and no one could yet decipher the full meaning of its message. As the data poured in, a tension grew. On one side was wonder, the joy of studying an alien body up close, the thrill of discovery. On the other was dread, the fear that Atlas might break apart before it revealed its secrets, or that its mysteries would remain hidden in solar glare. Astronomers felt caught in a balance, pulled between curiosity and anxiety. For the public, Atlas was a spectacle. For the scientists, it was a test of patience, of humility, of endurance. You may feel that tension too, lying in the dark. How often do we face beauty that also frightens us? How often do we watch something unfold that we cannot control, cannot predict, cannot even fully see? Atlas becomes a mirror of that feeling. Its emerald glow is enchanting, but within it lies instability. Its coma is magnificent, but within it lies fragility. Its antitail is defiant, but within it lies exhaustion, beauty and alarm, bound together. There is poetry in this duality. In Buddhist thought, the lotus blooms only from the mud, beauty rising from what seems impure. In African traditions, trickster spirits unsettle as much as they enlighten. In the myth of Prometheus, fire itself was a gift that also carried danger. Atlas, too, is gift and danger entwined. Its light enchants us, but its instability reminds us of impermanence. To watch it is to feel awe and unease at once, the true emotional rhythm of cosmic discovery. Astronomers prepared themselves for every outcome. If Atlas survived perihelion intact, it could reveal chemistry no one had ever measured. If it fragmented, its dust would scatter clues across space, perhaps visible even from Earth, once the glare subsided. Either way, the comet would speak. The alarm was not despair, but intensity, the sharp edge of anticipation. Something would happen. Something always happens when the cosmos sends a messenger from another star. Close your eyes and imagine that anticipation as a vibration in the night. You feel it in your chest, like the hum of a string drawn taut. The scientists feel it in their data, their sleepless nights. You feel it in your breath, in the silence around you. It is the same feeling that comes before a storm, before a revelation, before a dream turns. Atlas carries it now, shimmering green, convulsing against the sun's pull. The alarm among astronomers is also a reminder of our place. We are small, watching from one planet, trying to understand a traveler from another star. Our knowledge is vast, but our reach is limited. The comet humbles us, challenges us, reminds us that the galaxy is not ours to tame, and yet, in our alarm, there is also hope. For alarm is the sign of attention, of care, of wonder, sharpened into urgency. We are afraid only because we are awake. So let the alarm be your lullaby. Let the tension soften into calm. Atlas may fragment or endure, may brighten or fade, may speak clearly or remain silent. Whatever it does, it reminds us that the universe is alive, unpredictable, immense. As you drift into sleep, hold that truth gently. The Emerald Traveler moves on, and the astronomers keep watch, their hearts quickened, their voices hushed, alarm and awe, together in the night. While Earth turns its face away, blinded by the sun's glare, another world takes up the role of witness. Mars, silent and red, becomes the cosmic balcony from which 3I, divided by Atlas, performs its passage. The comet's path will bring it within about 30 million kilometers of the red planet, closer than to any other body in our solar system. For once, Earth is not the privileged observer. The honor belongs to Mars. Orbiters already circling the planet, NASA's MAVEN, the European Space Agency's Mars Express, India's Mangalyaan Legacy, and above all, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter may turn their instruments toward the Green Wanderer. Their sensors, tuned for atmospheric studies and surface mapping, are capable of recording spectra, brightness curves, even faint images of the coma and its peculiar anti-tail. To scientists, this is an extraordinary gift. No other interstellar comet has ever been observed so near to another planet. Mars, so often the subject of human dreams, now becomes our surrogate eyes. Imagine this scene, a barren world of dust and stone, its skies thin and cold, its horizon stretching unbroken. Above it drifts Atlas, glowing emerald, trailing both defiant tails. The orbiters, metallic guardians in the silence, capture each flicker of light. They are our ambassadors, our mechanical dreamers, stationed on a world we cannot yet call home. Through them, Mars becomes more than a planet. It becomes a witness, holding in its skies the memory of a traveler from another star. Pause here, listener. Close your eyes and picture the Martian desert under the comet's glow. The rust-red sands, unmarked by footsteps, lie beneath a night sky where an emerald mist passes. There is no life to watch, no eyes to lift toward the heavens, save for our machines. Yet, in a way, we watch through them. Our curiosity extends itself into orbit, stretching across millions of kilometers. We are there, in spirit, with our orbiters. And Mars, though silent, becomes our proxy voice. I have seen Atlas, and I will remember. This perspective is more than poetic. Scientifically, it is priceless. Earth's conjunction with the Sun during Atlas's perihelion means our telescopes cannot track it at its most active. Mars, however, is differently placed. Its orbit gives it a clearer view, a vantage that Earth cannot share. Instruments may detect the chemistry of gases, measure the scale of dust plumes, track the fragmentation of the nucleus if it occurs. The data, relayed back to Earth through deep space networks, becomes our window into the unseen. Mars is not only witness, but messenger, relaying what our own eyes cannot perceive. There is irony here. For centuries, humans gazed at Mars, imagining civilizations, canals, gods of war. Now it is Mars that gazes outward, watching the passage of a comet from another star. The roles have reversed. The red planet is no longer only the subject of stories, but the recorder of one. Perhaps this is what the universe intended all along, to teach us that perspective shifts, that no single world holds all the vision. From the mythic lens, the symbolism deepens. Mars, named for the Roman god of war, now observes a comet clothed in green, a color of renewal. War and rebirth meet in the same sky. The god of conflict becomes the witness to harmony. The juxtaposition is striking. A planet we associate with desolation and violence serves as host to a visitor whose light soothes and mystifies. It is as if the cosmos wants to remind us that even the harshest places can hold beauty, even the gods of war can be softened by wonder. For astronomers, the hope is practical. If Mars orbiters succeed in capturing data, it may allow us to understand Atlas's chemistry with unprecedented clarity. Spectral lines could reveal exotic compounds, carbon chains unseen in local comets, perhaps even nitrogen-rich molecules, hinting at different stellar nurseries. Dust detectors might record grain sizes, giving clues to the comet's structure. Plasma instruments could measure how the solar wind shapes the coma and tails. All of it would be science, hard data, tables and graphs. But beneath the data lies the miracle. Another planet has kept watch when ours could not. You may find comfort in this thought as you rest. Sometimes, when we cannot carry the weight, others hold it for us. Sometimes, when we cannot see, another perspective preserves the memory. Mars becomes that friend in the cosmos, silent, distant, but faithful. It keeps vigil while Earth blinks. It watches the traveler while we dream, and in its witness, we are not blind. Let us imagine further. What would it mean if, in the future, humans stood on Mars as Atlas passed. What would it mean to raise our eyes through thin Martian air and watch a comet from another star blaze green across the sky? For now, we send only machines. But perhaps, in centuries to come, our descendants will see such wonders with their own eyes, breathing the air of Mars, watching the galaxy write its stories directly above them. Atlas reminds us that such futures are possible, even inevitable, if we endure. The red planet as witness is not an accident. It is geometry, alignment, the cold math of orbital mechanics. Yet within that math is meaning, for it teaches us that the universe distributes perspective. No one world holds all the keys. We need each other: Earth, Mars, spacecraft, people to see the whole picture. The comet's story is too vast for one vantage alone, so breathe with this truth tonight. Imagine Mars keeping watch, orbiters humming silently as they track the green traveler. Imagine the sands below, untouched, dreaming of a time when human eyes will join the machines. Imagine Atlas sweeping by, indifferent yet luminous, leaving behind trails of dust that only Mars has seen. And let that image be your comfort, that even when we cannot witness, the cosmos arranges another witness for us. The red planet has always been mysterious to us. Tonight, it becomes something more. It becomes our partner, our surrogate, our quiet ally in the act of cosmic watching. As Atlas passes, Mars remembers, and through Mars so do we. As Atlas sweeps past Mars, carrying its emerald cloak and defiant tails, Earth begins to lose it. The geometry of the heavens conspires against us. The comet slides ever closer to the sun's apparent position in the sky, until at last it disappears into the overwhelming blaze. Astronomers call this moment superior conjunction. To ordinary eyes, it feels like vanishing, a trick of light in which the universe hides its most precious performance. From Earth's surface, the challenge is insurmountable. The sun's glare washes the sky in brilliance, drowning faint objects. No telescope dares aim too close. The risk of blinding delicate instruments is too great. Even space observatories like Hubble or James Webb are forbidden to turn toward the furnace. And so, the brightening green traveler we have followed slips away, swallowed by radiance. The night sky loses its guest. The charts grow empty. For weeks, perhaps months, Atlas will be invisible to us. This vanishing is not unique to Atlas. Every comet approaching perihelion risks being lost in the glare. Yet there is something more poignant when it happens to an interstellar visitor. We waited centuries to see such travelers. Now, as one unfolds its mysteries, the sun itself blinds us. It is as though the cosmos has drawn a curtain, withholding the climax of the play. What eruptions occur, what fragments scatter, what transformations ignite, all happen unseen. The stage is hidden, the actors veiled. We hear the music, but cannot watch the dance. Pause here, listener. Imagine yourself standing on a shore, watching a ship vanish into sunrise. You know it sails on, but your eyes cannot follow. The horizon swallows it, light erases it, and you are left only with faith that it continues. That is Earth's position now. Atlas sails into solar radiance, and we can only wait, trusting that beyond the glare it still exists. In this trust, there is quiet. In this patience, there is peace. Astronomers do not rest easily, of course. They turn to solar observatories, like SOHO and Stereo, whose instruments, designed to watch coronal storms, occasionally capture comets as they skim past the Sunday. Perhaps Atlas will appear in their cameras, a faint emerald streak against the solar wind. Perhaps not. The uncertainty is maddening. Data-hungry scientists must surrender to mystery. The comet's greatest act plays out unseen, and the universe gives no apology. The vanishing also awakens fear. Will Atlas survive? Many comets fragment at perihelion, torn apart by heat and gravity. Some vanish forever, leaving only faint dust trails. Others erupt in brilliance, splitting into multiple bodies. For an interstellar comet, never before seen so closely, the stakes feel higher. If it breaks apart, we lose the chance to study an intact alien nucleus. If it endures, we may witness chemistry no human eyes have seen before. The uncertainty gnaws at researchers, even as the glare denies them answers. And yet, for us, the listeners drifting towards sleep, the vanishing carries a softer meaning. Not everything must be seen to be believed. The hiddenness of Atlas is part of its lullaby. Its emerald light still burns, whether or not our eyes capture it. Its chemistry still awakens, whether or not our graphs record it. Sometimes the most profound transformations happen unseen, in silence, behind curtains. Perhaps our own lives are like that too. Perhaps the times we vanish into our own solar glare, into hardship, into silence, into waiting, are the very times we are most deeply changed. In myth, the theme of disappearance is ancient. Persephone vanishes into the underworld before spring returns. The phoenix disappears in fire before rising anew. In African traditions, ancestral spirits are often invisible, present in absence, speaking through silence. Atlas, too, joins this lineage. Its vanishing is not an ending, but a transformation. The glare hides it. But within the blaze, something continues, something unseen. The scientific community holds its breath. Predictions vary. Some models suggest Atlas may fragment, scattering smaller bodies into separate paths. Others argue it is strong enough to endure, its nucleus dense and cohesive. But no one knows. For weeks, the truth will be hidden. Only when Atlas emerges from behind the sun will we see what remains. Until then, imagination fills the void. Close your eyes and picture it. A comet plunging into sunlight, its emerald glow swallowed, its tails whipped by solar wind. Around it, coronal mass ejections surge, streams of plasma roar. Atlas shivers, convulses, breathes out jets of gas. Yet to us, it is gone, invisible. We know it only by faith and by memory. This is the vanishing into solar glare, an act of mystery, a reminder of limits, a lesson in trust. And yet, there is comfort here too. The same sun that blinds us is the one that awakens Atlas. The fire that hides it is the fire that gives it life. Without sunlight, there would be no emerald glow, no coma, no tail. The glare that frustrates us is also the gift that makes the comet visible at all. Gain and loss, creation and concealment, bound together in a single blaze. So let the vanishing soothe you tonight. Imagine Atlas slipping into brightness, unseen but alive. Imagine its chemistry awakening in secret, its fragments or its wholeness held in the sun's embrace. You do not need to see to believe. You do not need data to trust. The comet is there. The story continues, even in silence. When it emerges again, weeks later, we will know what happened. But tonight, you rest in the not knowing, in the mystery, in the quiet. Atlas vanishes into solar glare, and you drift into sleep, carried by the same gentle trust. Hidden now, in the sun's brilliance, I, divided by Atlas, faces its most severe test, the trial of perihelion. This is the moment of closest approach to our star, the furnace, where icy wanderers are unmasked. For Atlas, the date is written in the language of orbital mechanics, October 20, 9, 30, 2025, at a distance of roughly 1.36 astronomical units. Numbers, precise and cold, describe it. Yet behind those numbers lies a drama that no formula can soften. Perihelion is judgment. The comet must endure or shatter. For scientists, the question is simple but urgent. Will Atlas survive? Many comets do not. They are fragile, porous, their ice is unstable. As they plunge toward the sun, pressure builds within their cores. Jets erupt violently. Fractures widen. Some disintegrate entirely, scattering into clouds of dust. Others split into multiple fragments, each a smaller echo of the original body. A rare few endure, their nuclei dense enough to withstand the heat, emerging from perihelion battered but intact. Which fate awaits Atlas, no one can say. The signs are ambiguous. Its brightness curve rose too fast, too steeply, suggesting instability. Its coma grew impossibly vast, a symptom of violent outgassing. Its anti-tail, bold and sunward, betrayed the release of unusually heavy dust. Each of these features points to strain, to fragility. Yet at the same time, the comet has endured so far, holding itself together even as its chemistry erupted in emerald fire. It may yet surprise us, as interstellar visitors always have. Pause here, listener. Imagine the scene beyond our sight. Atlas plunges into sunlight, its nucleus no larger than a mountain, yet carrying within it the memory of another star. Heat penetrates its crust, deep ices awaken, gas pressure surges, fractures crack. Around it, the coma billows, tails whip, plasma streams. It is chaos and beauty entwined. From Earth we see nothing, but the trial unfolds nonetheless. In silence, in fire, the traveler is tested. Myth offers metaphors for this moment. In Hindu tradition, fire is purification. What is true endures. What is false burns away. In Greek myth, heroes descend into the underworld, passing through danger before returning transformed. In Christian thought, trial by flame reveals the gold hidden within ore. Atlas, too, enters its trial. Its perihelion is not merely a point in orbit, but a crucible. Whether it survives whole or scatters, it will emerge changed, its story written in the language of fire. Astronomers wait with unease. They cannot see directly, but their models predict outcomes. If Atlas fragments, its brightness may surge briefly, then fade as the pieces disperse. If it survives, it may reappear in November brighter still, its coma replenished by deeper ices. Either path will teach us something. A fragmentation would reveal the layered structure of an interstellar comet, each shard exposing chemistry once hidden. Survival would show us resilience, the strength of alien material forged under another Sunday. Both outcomes are science. Both outcomes are wonder. But for you, resting now, the trial speaks differently. It is a reminder that all journeys face moments of crisis. All travelers, whether comet or human, encounter their perihelion a moment when heat and pressure strip away pretense, when what is hidden must be revealed. Sometimes we fragment, scattering pieces of ourselves. Sometimes we endure, scarred but whole. Either way, we emerge changed. Atlas's trial is our own. We watch it not only as astronomers but as mirrors. Consider the physics. At perihelion, Atlas speeds past the Sun at over 150,000 miles per hour. Its trajectory bends sharply, slingshotting around the star. Solar radiation pounds its surface. Ultraviolet light breaks molecules apart. The solar wind buffets its coma, shaping tails into ribbons of plasma and dust. It is an environment no human has ever known, a place of extremes. Yet in that extremity, the comet speaks. Every particle released, every glow recorded, is a fragment of knowledge, a syllable in the galaxy's long story. From another perspective, the trial is also performance. Imagine Atlas as a dancer stepping into the spotlight, its emerald cloak blazing brighter, its defiant tails arcing across the stage. The sun itself becomes the orchestra, its light and wind shaping the rhythm. No human audience watches, save for a few spacecraft glimpsing from afar. Yet the performance is real, immense, unforgettable. The galaxy has staged this act for itself, and we are the dreamers allowed to imagine it. In silence, you may find yourself drifting deeper. Picture the comet not as fragile ice, but as a pilgrim, a wanderer, kneeling before the sunday. The heat is overwhelming, yet it does not flee. It bows, it breathes, it endures what it must. In its stillness, you may hear your own strength. Trials come, heat rises, but we too endure, we too pass through fire. Atlas is not only comet, it is metaphor, a story the universe tells us about resilience. When the trial ends, answers will come. In November, after the glare fades, telescopes will search again. Will they find an intact nucleus, glowing still in emerald? Or only dust, dispersed and fading? No one knows. The uncertainty is the essence of the trial. For now, all we can do is wait, breathe, and trust that the cosmos will reveal what it chooses. So let this trial soothe you, not frighten you. Imagine Atlas in fire. Imagine it breaking or surviving. Imagine it transformed. The universe does not promise permanence. It promises change. And in that change lies beauty. Close your eyes, breathe with the comet, and let its journey through perihelion carry you gently into rest. The story of three, I divided by Atlas, cannot be told in isolation. To understand its meaning, we must place it alongside the only two other interstellar visitors we have ever known. One eye, Oumuamua, and two eye, divided by Borisov. Together, they form a small but astonishing family, a trio of travelers, each carrying its own mystery, each rewriting what we thought we knew about the cosmos. Oumuamua came first, in 2017. It appeared suddenly, like a thief in the night, discovered only after it had already passed perihelion. Its light curve suggested a body elongated like a cigar, or flattened like a pancake, tumbling strangely. No coma, no tail, no familiar cometary activity. Yet it accelerated in ways gravity alone could not explain. Solar radiation pressure, outgassing of invisible hydrogen, even speculations of alien technology were proposed. Oumuamua left quickly, vanishing into the dark, leaving behind only questions. It was the whisper that alerted us. Interstellar visitors are real. Then came Borisov in 2019. Unlike Oumuamua, it was clearly a comet with a bright coma and long tail. But its chemistry revealed it as foreign-rich in carbon monoxide, poor in water, unlike most comets from our own Oort cloud. It was more familiar than Oumuamua, yet still alien in detail. Borisov was the confirmation. These travelers are not rare flukes, but part of a greater population. Countless fragments ejected from star systems across the galaxy. And now, Atlas. Brighter, stranger, bolder than either of its predecessors. A coma vast enough to rival the sun, an anti-tail defying physics, an emerald glow more vivid than any comet in memory. Where Oumuamua was silent, Atlas is loud. Where Borisov was conventional but odd, Atlas is dramatic, theatrical. If Oumuamua was a whisper and Borisov a steady voice, then Atlas is a song sung in green, heard across the solar system. Pause here, listener. Imagine the three travelers as characters in a play. Oumuamua, the silent stranger, slips past without revealing its name. Borisov, the cautious storyteller, explains just enough to remind us of our ignorance. And Atlas, the flamboyant dancer, strides onto the stage clothed in emerald, tail raised against the sun, declaring itself impossible to ignore. Together, they form a chorus, each voice different, yet all saying the same truth. The galaxy is alive with wanderers, and we are only beginning to notice. For scientists, Comparisons sharpen the questions. Why did Oumuamua lack a coma? Why did Borisov carry so much carbon monoxide? Why does Atlas glow so vividly green, with a coma vast beyond expectation? Each traveler challenges our models, reminding us that what we call normal is only local. Our solar system's comets are not universal templates. They are one dialect among many in the galaxy's language of formation. Atlas, with its emerald breath, speaks in yet another dialect, one we had never heard before. Consider the chemistry. Oumuamua's absence of visible activity suggested an icy surface buried beneath an insulating crust, or exotic ices sublimating invisibly. Borisov revealed a richness in CO, hinting at formation in a colder, outer region of its home system. Atlas now reveals dominance of CO2 and a strong diatomic carbon signature, suggesting yet another birthplace, another nursery of worlds. Each interstellar comet is not just a traveler, it is a sample, a frozen core of alien history delivered into our skies. To study them is to read pages from books written by other stars. And yet, beyond the data, there is emotion. Each traveler carries with it a feeling. Oumuamua evoked unease, a body that accelerated mysteriously, a puzzle without closure. Borisov evoked recognition, a comet like ours, yet different, a cousin from afar. Atlas evokes awe, a spectacle too large, too bright, too strange. Its presence is not subtle but overwhelming, a reminder that the cosmos is capable of grandeur beyond our measures. In myth, wanderers are always teachers. Odysseus returns with wisdom after years at sea. Exiled prophets carry new visions. Tricksters unsettle, only to reveal hidden truths. Oumuamua, Borisov, and Atlas join this lineage. They wander across the galaxy, not to harm, but to remind us that creation is broader than our small corner. They bring with them not answers, but questions, the most precious gift of all. Close your eyes and imagine the three of them together in the night sky. Oumuamua, dark and silent, slips past like a shadow. Borisov, steady and pale, trails a long cometary veil. Atlas, radiant and green, flares with impossible brilliance. Three voices, three songs, three reminders that the galaxy is wider than our sight. As you breathe slowly, let their chorus carry you. You do not need to solve their mysteries tonight. You only need to rest in the knowledge that the universe is still surprising, still alive. Scientists sometimes wonder, what proportion of interstellar objects are comets versus asteroids? How often they arrive? What their true population is? Early models predicted we might see one every few centuries. Yet in less than a decade, we have seen three. Perhaps the galaxy teems with them, countless fragments drifting between the stars. If so, then the night sky is full of wanderers, invisible until our instruments sharpen. Atlas, brighter than most, is the one we notice. But behind it, perhaps millions more drift silently, waiting their turn. The comparisons matter because they build anticipation. If the first was silent, the second conventional, the third theatrical, what will the fourth be? And the fifth? Each new visitor raises the stakes, deepens the mystery, expands the story. Atlas is not the end. It is the middle of a new chapter in astronomy, one that tells us our solar system is not isolated, but porous, connected to the galaxy through the silent exchange of comets. So let these wanderers lull you tonight. Imagine them drifting across the void, each carrying fragments of alien suns, each glowing briefly in our skies before vanishing forever. They are not threats, but reminders. They tell us that the galaxy is immense, that creation is diverse, that wonder is endless. Oumuamua whispered. Borisov spoke. Atlas sings. And in its song, you may find peace, a lullaby written in emerald light. Every interstellar visitor leaves behind not only data but argument. 3. I, divided by Atlas, is no exception. Its emerald glow, its impossible coma, its rebellious anti-tail, all have sparked debates fierce enough to echo across conferences, journals, and late-night conversations among astronomers. The debates are not signs of failure, they are proof of life within science itself, the restless pulse of curiosity refusing to settle. Atlas has become a mirror, showing us our uncertainty as much as our knowledge. One debate centers on the nucleus itself. How large is it? Some models suggest a core only a few kilometers across, hidden inside its vast coma. Others propose it must be larger, dense enough to survive its violent outgassing. But no telescope has yet resolved it directly. We measure brightness, infer mass, estimate density, and argue. The nucleus remains a riddle, wrapped in emerald mist. For some, this is frustrating. For others, it is exhilarating. The unknown is not failure, but invitation. Another debate concerns its chemistry. Why does carbon dioxide dominate, rather than water? In our solar system, water ice is usually the main driver of comet activity, with CO2 and CO playing secondary roles. But Atlas reverses the pattern. Some researchers argue this means it was born farther from its parent star, in colder regions where water was scarce but carbon dioxide plentiful. Others suggest exotic processes, perhaps a star with different metallicity, or a protoplanetary disk rich in carbon. Each explanation is plausible, yet none is proven. The green traveler refuses to yield its birthplace. The anti-tail fuels yet another dispute. Some insist it is purely geometric, the result of Earth's perspective on large dust grains trailing the comet's orbit. Others point to its brightness, its sharpness, its defiant stance against the sun, arguing that Atlas must be releasing dust in unusual ways. Could jets erupting at specific angles create the effect? Could interstellar composition alter the way particles respond to sunlight? The arguments grow heated, as though the comet itself delights in provoking disagreement. Pause here, listener. Imagine the scene at an astronomy conference. Scientists sit in rows, laptops open, voices rising. Graphs are projected, spectra displayed, models compared. One insists the nucleus is fragile, another argues it is strong. One claims the anti-tail is ordinary, another calls it unique. They speak with passion, with conviction, with doubt. Beneath it all lies wonder, the unspoken awe that such a body exists at all, that we are alive to see it. Even in debate, there is reverence. Beyond the technical disputes, larger questions loom. What do these visitors mean for planetary science? If interstellar comets differ so greatly from ours, what does that say about the diversity of star systems? If their chemistry is rich, could they carry prebiotic molecules across the galaxy? Could such wanderers seed life from one world to another? The idea of panspermia, once pushed to the fringe, finds new footing in the wake of Atlas. Some argue cautiously, others boldly. The debates stretch not only across data, but across philosophy. What is life, and how might it travel? There is also the question of frequency. 3 interstellar objects in less than a decade, Oumuamua, Borisov, Atlas, suggest they are not rare. Are we simply noticing now because our telescopes are sharper? Or has the solar system drifted into a region of the galaxy rich in such wanderers? Models are updated, probabilities recalculated. Some predict dozens per year may pass through, unseen except by the next generation of observatories like the Vera Rubin Observatory. If so, Atlas is not a lonely messenger, but part of a caravan, a procession of travelers moving between stars. The thought both excites and unsettles. You may feel the hum of these debates as you rest. They are not noise, but music, the chorus of minds wrestling with mystery. Science is not certainty. It is conversation. Atlas has joined that conversation, forcing us to expand our questions. And in those questions, you may find calm, for to admit not knowing is to open space for wonder. Myth, too, has its debates. Was the trickster Loki a force of chaos or of hidden wisdom? Was Prometheus a thief or a benefactor? Was the phoenix's fire, death, or rebirth? Atlas embodies all of these contradictions. It is fragile yet immense, chaotic yet meaningful, hidden yet luminous. Our debates about it are echoes of these older disputes, carried now into the language of telescopes and spectra. The cosmos repeats its lessons in every age, only the vocabulary changes. Astronomers sometimes grow weary of endless arguments, yet they know this is the work. Consensus will come slowly, after years of observation, after Atlas has vanished into the dark, and only its data remains. The arguments themselves are part of the discovery, for each perspective sharpens the others. Each debate opens new questions. Each voice adds to the tapestry. In this way, Atlas teaches us not only about comets, but about ourselves, about the way humans grapple with the unknown. Close your eyes now, and imagine the debates as stars in the sky. Each one shines from a different point, each with its own brightness and hue. Alone, they are scattered. Together, they form constellations, patterns of meaning. Science is like this, scattered voices forming constellations of knowledge. Atlas is the spark that lights them. You, listening here, are part of that constellation too, for to wonder is to join the debate in your own way. The great debates will continue long after Atlas has gone. Papers will be written, models refined, arguments revisited. Some questions will find answers, others will remain open. But the debates themselves are the legacy. They remind us that knowledge is not a destination, but a journey, that the path of science is as winding as the orbit of a comet. Atlas, in its emerald defiance, has pulled us deeper into that journey. So let the debates lull you tonight. Hear the voices not as discord, but as harmony, not as conflict, but as curiosity. Atlas has given us more questions than answers, and that is its gift. For in questions lies wonder, and in wonder lies peace. Rest in that truth. The great debates are not storms but songs, and their music will carry you into sleep. After the debates swirl, after theories clash like waves against rock, scientists return to what they know best, the search for natural explanations. For all its emerald glow and impossible coma, for all its rebellious tales and rapid brightening, 3 divided by Atlas is still, in its essence, ice and dust warmed by a star. The extraordinary does not require the supernatural. The cosmos is astonishing enough when seen clearly. One explanation begins with the ices themselves. In our solar system, most comets are dominated by water. Sublimation of frozen H2O drives their activity near the Sunday. But Atlas has revealed a different recipe. Observations suggest carbon dioxide plays the leading role, erupting into gas at lower temperatures than water. This explains the early brightening, the massive coma, the persistent activity even when far from the Sunday. Where Earth's comets wait to warm, Atlas breathes at once, its CO2 leaping into vapor at distances where local comets slumber. Carbon monoxide may also play a role. CO is even more volatile than CO2, capable of sublimating in the deep cold of interstellar space. If Atlas carries large reservoirs of CO, it may have been faintly active long before it approached the Sun, releasing gases that expanded its coma earlier than expected. Such chemistry hints at a birthplace far from its parent star, in regions colder and darker than our comets usually form. The alien nature of Atlas lies not in mystery, but in diversity, the diversity of stellar nurseries across the galaxy. Dust grains tell another part of the story. The antitail, strange and sunward, may be nothing more than the product of heavy particles lagging behind the comet along its orbital path. Unlike fine dust, which sunlight sweeps outward, these grains resist the push, aligning in a way that, from Earth's perspective, appears defiant. It is geometry, not rebellion. Perspective, not magic. The cosmos loves to trick our eyes, and Atlas, whether knowingly or not, plays the role of trickster well. Pause here, listener. Let these explanations settle gently, like dust falling through air. Each one is simple, natural, unadorned. Carbon dioxide erupts. Carbon monoxide lingers. Dust grains drift. The extraordinary becomes ordinary when seen with patient eyes. Yet there is no loss of wonder in this. Ordinary processes, repeated across alien conditions, create spectacles that feel impossible. Science, in this way, is not the enemy of awe, but its partner. To understand Atlas is not to diminish it, but to see its beauty more clearly. Other natural explanations lie in its structure. Comets are fragile, often described as dirty snowballs. But within that snow, layers form, ices mingle, porosity varies. When sunlight penetrates, it does not warm evenly. Hot spots flare, jets erupt, surfaces fracture. Atlas's brightness surge may be the result of such uneven warming, its nucleus riddled with cracks that vent more gas than expected. The vast coma, the emerald glow, the antitail, all may be consequences of internal architecture shaped long ago around another star. And what of its emerald color? Again, chemistry suffices. Diatomic carbon, released in jets, fluoresces under solar ultraviolet light. Its lifetime is brief, but constant replenishment sustains the glow. Atlas is not unique in this. Many comets show green. But the scale here is unusual, amplified by the comet's size, activity, and composition. What appears mystical is, at heart, molecular physics. Light excites carbon, carbon glows green. In this simplicity lies both explanation and beauty. Scientists remind us that extraordinary phenomena often yield to ordinary causes. Lightning was once divine fire. It is now electricity. Rainbows were once bridges to gods. They are now prisms of light. Atlas, glowing emerald, may feel like omen or messenger, yet its message may be nothing more than this. The universe follows its laws, and those laws create beauty without intent. But pause again, listener. Does the natural diminish the poetic? Does explaining a rainbow make it less beautiful? No. If anything, knowledge deepens wonder. To know that diatomic carbon glows green, that CO2 sublimates into vast comas, that dust grains can trick perspective, all of this enriches the image. Science does not silence the song. It teaches us the notes, so we can hear the music more fully. There are, of course, limits. Natural explanations do not answer everything. Why did Atlas flare so suddenly? Why is its coma so vast compared to its nucleus? Why does its antitail shine so sharply? Each question has tentative answers, but no certainty. The comet resists complete understanding, reminding us that even natural causes can be complex, layered, elusive. Mystery persists, not because the supernatural intervenes, but because the natural is deeper than we yet know. Consider, too, what natural explanations imply for the galaxy. If Atlas is rich in CO2, if Borisov was rich in CO, if Oumuamua lacked visible ices entirely, then diversity is the rule. Star systems forge comets from different materials, under different temperatures, with different structures. The galaxy is not monotonous. It is a library of recipes, each page written by a different Sunday. Atlas's natural explanation is also cosmic revelation. We live in a universe of endless variety. Close your eyes and let this thought soothe you. The cosmos does not need miracles to be miraculous. Carbon, oxygen, dust, ice. These are enough to create beauty beyond imagination. Atlas glows not because it is magic, but because it is real. Its emerald coma, its strange tales, its defiant brightness are products of nature, of laws that hold true across billions of light years. And in those laws, there is comfort. The universe is ordered, consistent, alive with patterns that we can glimpse and trust. So let the natural explanations lull you. Imagine carbon dioxide bursting into vapor, dust swirling into veils, molecules glowing green under sunlight. Imagine the comet as a simple body of ice and dust, transformed into spectacle by nothing more than heat and motion. No trickery, no illusion, just the ordinary, made extraordinary by scale. And as you drift into sleep, remember, the natural is enough. The world, as it is wondrous. Natural explanations can soothe the mind, reminding us that beauty is born of chemistry and physics. Yet the Emerald Wanderer has also opened a door to speculation far beyond the natural. For every astronomer calculating sublimation rates, there is another thinker, sometimes scientist, sometimes dreamer, who wonders aloud, what if Atlas is not merely a comet? What if it is something more? The first set of fringe ideas echo the debates of Oumuamua. When that elongated traveler passed in 2017, its strange acceleration, without visible outgassing, led some to speculate that it might be artificial, a fragment of alien technology, perhaps a light sail drifting between stars. The suggestion was controversial, derided by many, yet it sparked public imagination. Could Atlas, too, be more than ice and dust? Its vast coma, its defiant anti-tail, its emerald cloak, all seem theatrical, almost staged. Some whisper, is it a beacon? A signal meant to be seen? Others stretch further. They suggest Atlas could be a probe, intentionally directed into our solar system. Its behavior, so unusual, so against prediction, could be the result of design. Of course, no evidence supports this. Spectra reveal molecules, not metal. Dynamics follow gravity, not engines. But the thought lingers. What if alien intelligence hides within the ordinary? What if the emerald glow is not just chemistry, but message? Pause here, listener. Let the idea rest lightly in your mind. Do not cling to it. Do not fear it. Imagine instead that the comet is a messenger, a courier drifting across the galaxy, carrying a sealed letter written in molecules. We may not know the language, but the letter arrives nonetheless, glowing green against the void. Perhaps the message is simple. We too are here. We too wander. Other fringe theories take a more organic turn. Some propose that comets like Atlas are not lifeless at all, but forms of plasma life, vast, slow organisms that drift between stars, feeding on radiation, exhaling chemistry. To them, the green glow is not just fluorescence, but metabolism, the breath of a creature unlike any we know. Fringe journals speak of living comets, cosmic jellyfish pulsing through space. Mainstream science rejects this, but imagination thrives where data is scarce. Could Atlas be alive in a way we cannot yet conceive? Another set of speculations sees Atlas as myth reborn. In African traditions, trickster spirits walk backward, break rules, reveal truths through contradiction. In Hindu philosophy, Maya illusion veils reality, forcing us to look deeper. In this light, Atlas's anti-tail is not just dust, but symbol, a gesture of defiance against the expected. It says, "Not all truths point outward. Some point back toward the fire." The emerald glow becomes a mask, the impossible coma a stage prop, the entire comet a performance meant to unsettle us into new awareness. Of course, scientists respond with caution. They remind us that speculation must not outrun evidence. Chemistry explains the glow, dust explains the antitail, geometry explains the coma. Exotic theories, they say, are distractions, curiosities for late-night talk, but not for peer-reviewed journals. And yet, the debates continue. For history has taught us that what was once fringe can sometimes become truth. Meteorites were once dismissed as superstition until stones fell before witnesses. Continental drift was once laughed at until tectonics proved it. Could today's exotic ideas be tomorrow's explanations? Pause again. Imagine yourself drifting deeper into rest. Picture Atlas, not as comet or machine, but as a dream given form. It glows green because dreams often do, carrying colors not bound by sunlight. It points its tail toward the sun because dreams resist order. It spreads a coma vast enough to hide worlds because dreams are larger than reason. Whether comet or creature or symbol, Atlas becomes your companion in sleep, a reminder that not all mysteries must be solved before dawn. The most daring of fringe theories imagine Atlas as a Trojan horse. Just as in the ancient tale, what appears harmless may conceal something within. Could its nucleus hide technology, spores, seeds? Could it be carrying material from another world, waiting to scatter across our system? To most scientists, this borders on science fiction. But fiction, too, has its value. It prepares the mind to think beyond the narrow, to imagine what data cannot yet prove. The Trojan horse comet becomes not a threat, but a story one that reminds us that the universe is stranger than comfort allows. Philosophers also join the conversation. Some suggest Atlas is a mirror, reflecting our fears and hopes. Those who fear alien invasion see it as probe. Those who long for cosmic kin see it as messenger. Those who study life's origins see it as seed. The comet itself is silent, yet it becomes a canvas for our imagination. In this way, it is less about what Atlas is, and more about what we are, creatures of wonder, forever projecting meaning onto the sky. Close your eyes now, and let the exotic theories wash over you like waves. Do not worry about truth or falsehood. Let them be possibilities, shimmering and dissolving like auroras. Atlas could be comet, probe, creature, messenger, dream. Each story adds to its glow. Each possibility deepens its mystery. And mystery, after all, is the true gift. When Atlas emerges from solar glare, data will sharpen, spectra will confirm chemistry, images will reveal structure. Most likely, the natural explanations will prevail. It will remain ice and dust, no more, no less. Yet even then, the exotic theories will not vanish. They will linger, because imagination is part of science, because wonder is part of truth. Atlas has already become more than a comet. It is a story we tell ourselves, a mirror we hold to the cosmos. So rest with this thought. The universe is vast enough for both equations and dreams. Natural explanations soothe, exotic theories inspire. Together, they form the lullaby of knowledge. Atlas glows in emerald mystery, and we, drifting into sleep, glow with it. Every comet has a timeline, and with Atlas, that timeline has become a countdown. From the moment it crossed into the inner solar system, astronomers began to mark the days: approach to Mars, perihelion, emergence from solar glare. Each milestone is both opportunity and risk. Each date circled in red on calendars across observatories. For Atlas, the countdown is more than scheduling. It is a heartbeat, a rhythm that pulls scientists and dreamers alike into anticipation. The first milestone was October 3rd, when Atlas brushed past Mars at 30 million kilometers. That encounter gave orbiters a chance to record its glow, its coma, its tails. The second milestone, October 29th, 30th, was perihelion, the trial by fire, the moment hidden from Earth's eyes. And now, as weeks pass, the third milestone approaches, re-emergence from the sun's glare. Each stage is awaited with equal parts, excitement and unease. Will Atlas still shine? Will it fragment? Will it vanish entirely? The countdown is not only science, it is suspense. Astronomers speak of windows of observation, narrow frames when geometry allows vision. With Atlas, those windows are precious. Miss one, and the comet continues regardless. The universe does not wait for us. The countdown sharpens awareness. Every night matters, every spectrum recorded, every image captured. Scientists coordinate across continents, sharing data, building a global vigil. It is as if the entire planet holds its breath together. Pause here, listener. Imagine yourself listening to that heartbeat, steady, insistent, days ticking, orbits shifting, light changing. The comet's path is silent, but in our minds it becomes a drum, a countdown echoing through the night. You feel it as you rest, each breath another second, each heartbeat another mark on the cosmic calendar. Time itself seems to lean forward, waiting for what comes next. The countdown also deepens implications. If Atlas survives, intact and glowing, it becomes the most detailed study of an interstellar comet in history. Its chemistry, recorded after perihelion, could reveal compounds unknown in our solar system. Its dust trails could be mapped, its tails dissected by instruments. The data could reshape models of how comets form in other star systems, how they differ from our own. The implications ripple outward. Planetary science, astrochemistry, even theories of life's origins may shift. If Atlas fragments, the implications change, but do not vanish. Fragments would scatter along its orbit, creating a trail of interstellar dust. Instruments might detect these grains, analyze their composition, glimpse their structure. Fragmentation would reveal the comet's weakness, but also its secrets. A shattered nucleus is not loss, but revelation, each piece exposing chemistry once buried deep. In this way, the countdown holds no defeat. Whatever happens, knowledge emerges. Beyond science, the cosmic implications are larger still. Atlas is the third interstellar object we have seen in less than a decade. This suggests a galaxy alive with wanderers. If 3 have come so quickly, how many more pass unseen each year? Perhaps the stars are constantly exchanging fragments, comets flung outward by giant planets, asteroids ejected by collisions. Perhaps our solar system is not isolated at all, but part of a vast galactic marketplace where matter drifts endlessly between suns. Such a vision changes how we see ourselves. Life on Earth may not be unique in its ingredients. Comets like Atlas could carry organic molecules, frozen seeds drifting across space. If panspermia is more than myth, if life's building blocks travel on emerald cloaks, then every interstellar visitor is a potential carrier of Genesis. The implications reach beyond astronomy into philosophy. Are we the children of one sun or of many? Is our origin not Earth alone, but the galaxy itself? Pause again, and let this thought rest in your mind. You, lying in the dark, are made of atoms once forged in stars, once carried in dust, once scattered across light years. Atlas, glowing above, carries its own atoms, its own memory of another Sunday. The countdown is not only about perihelion or re-emergence. It is about connection, the link between our chemistry and its chemistry, our story and its story. In the ticking of days, we hear the galaxy speaking. Astronomers, for all their caution, cannot hide their excitement. They know the countdown is history. A century from now, textbooks will record this moment. The graphs and spectra being collected now will become the foundation of understanding interstellar comets. Every second matters. Every observation is part of the record. The countdown is relentless, but it is also privilege. We are alive in the brief age when such visitors have begun to reveal themselves. For you, the listener drifting towards sleep, the countdown becomes lullaby. You need not mark dates or calculate trajectories. You need only feel the rhythm, the slow beat of days passing, the steady hum of the comet's approach and retreat. Time itself cradles you, the same time that carries Atlas past the Sun, past Mars, past us, into the dark. You and the comet share the same flow of time, the same rhythm of existence. That realization is comfort. The cosmic implications also touch humility. Atlas reminds us how small we are. A fragment of another star system drifts past, indifferent to our eyes, our fears, our debates. It has traveled millions of years to reach us, and soon it will vanish forever. Yet, for this brief window, we see it. That seeing matters. It tells us that we are part of the galaxy, not apart from it. The countdown is not just for Atlas. It is for us, for our chance to witness, to learn, to remember. Close your eyes now. Imagine the comet as a clock, its emerald glow marking seconds against the black, each tail a hand sweeping slowly, each burst of gas another tick. The countdown is not toward doom, but toward revelation. Whatever happens at the end, survival, fragmentation, fading, the truth will arrive, and we will know more than we did before. Let that be enough. So rest in the countdown. Rest in the implications. Rest in the knowledge that the galaxy is alive, that wanderers cross its spaces, that you are part of the same vast rhythm. Atlas glows tonight. The clock ticks. The story continues. And as you drift into sleep, you drift with it, one heartbeat among many in the great countdown of the cosmos. When the countdown of Atlas turns toward its next chapter, two giants of the solar system step into focus: Mars, which we have already cast as witness, and Jupiter, the immense guardian whose gravity has shaped countless cosmic stories. Together, these planets may reveal truths that Earth, blinded by glare, cannot see. Their roles in the tale of Atlas remind us that knowledge is not confined to one perspective. Different worlds carry different gifts. Mars has already begun its work. As Atlas swept 30 million kilometers past on October 3rd, the orbiters circling the red planet were uniquely placed to watch. Instruments designed for atmospheric analysis could capture spectra of the emerald coma, detecting gases Earth-based telescopes missed. Cameras may have recorded subtle variations in the anti-tail, mapping how dust lingers in its orbital path. MAVEN's plasma sensors may even have measured the way the solar wind sculpted the comet's envelope. These fragments of data, still being processed, form a mosaic. Piece by piece, Mars becomes our proxy eye. Pause here, listener. Imagine Mars under the comet's glow. The deserts are silent, the canyons empty, the mountains cold. Yet above, orbiters hum, antennas whisper, lenses capture green light flickering across the void. No human eyes gaze upward, but our machines keep watch faithfully. Mars itself becomes an extension of our senses, a partner in the act of witnessing. Even as Earth blinks in blindness, Mars holds the memory for us. Jupiter's role is different, more subtle, but no less profound. As the largest planet in our system, it wields gravity like a shield, deflecting or capturing countless comets. It has long been called the protector of Earth, a giant whose pull has spared our planet from impacts that could have ended history before it began. Now, as Atlas swings inward, Jupiter's distant gravity exerts its influence. It does not capture Atlas's velocity as too high, its hyperbolic path too steep, but Jupiter bends the trajectory ever so slightly, shaping the angle of its exit, marking the comet's course as it leaves. For astronomers, this gravitational nudge is valuable. By tracking it, they refine models of Atlas's orbit, ensuring precision in predictions. They can also use Jupiter's vantage. Spacecraft in orbit around or near the giant may glimpse Atlas as it passes through the sun's glare. Though designed for other purposes, instruments like Juno's star trackers might catch stray photons from the comet's glow. Even a hint of data is precious when Earth is blind. But beyond science, the symbolism is striking. Mars, the planet of war, becomes the silent observer. Jupiter, the king of planets, becomes the subtle shaper. One records, the other bends. Atlas, the traveler, passes between them, clothed in emerald, carrying the chemistry of another star. Together, they form a cosmic trinity: witness, guardian, wanderer. Their dance is written not in myth, but in orbital mechanics. Yet it feels like story nonetheless. Consider the chemistry Mars may reveal. If orbiters detect unexpected molecules, long carbon chains, nitrogen compounds, even complex organics, the implications ripple outward. Such discoveries would suggest that interstellar comets may carry the raw ingredients of life, scattered across the galaxy, like seeds in the wind. Borisov hinted at this with its carbon monoxide richness. Atlas, brighter and stranger, may go further, delivering evidence that alien suns forge comets capable of carrying more than dust. If so, Mars would be the first witness to a truth humans have long suspected, that life's ingredients are not unique to Earth, but woven into the fabric of the galaxy. And Jupiter, the guardian, may reveal something different. By calculating its gravitational influence, scientists can refine their understanding of interstellar trajectories. Each visitor teaches us how to track the next. Each orbit mapped makes the galaxy less chaotic in our eyes. Atlas's path, bent but not bound, will carry it onward into the dark. But Jupiter's touch ensures that we know exactly where it goes, how fast, how far. The giant planet stamps its mark upon the traveler, a signature written in gravity. Pause again, listener. Close your eyes and imagine the scene. A green comet sweeps past Mars, orbiters watching. Farther out, Jupiter looms immense, its storms swirling, its moons shining like lanterns. The comet curves slightly under its pull, then sails on. You see it from above, as though watching a dance on a vast stage. Mars bowing, Jupiter guiding, Atlas twirling in emerald light. The orchestra is the sun, the music is silence, and you are in the audience, drifting gently toward sleep. The implications reach beyond planets. If Mars and Jupiter can teach us this much from one comet, what will future missions reveal? Imagine a probe dispatched to intercept the next interstellar visitor, to taste its gases directly, to land on its nucleus. Imagine telescopes on Mars, freed from Earth's glare, recording details we can only dream of now. Imagine Jupiter's moons, with their icy surfaces, someday hosting observatories that watch such comets pass. Atlas is not just a story of one visitor. It is the beginning of a new kind of astronomy, one that sees the galaxy as open, permeable, alive with exchange. For you, lying quietly, these implications become lullaby. Mars keeps watch, Jupiter bends, Atlas glows. The details are vast, the science complex, yet the story is simple. The universe shares its wonders through many voices, not one. No single planet holds the whole truth. Perspective is distributed, knowledge scattered, meaning shared. In this scattering lies beauty. In this sharing lies peace. So let Mars and Jupiter cradle you tonight. Let the red planet hold vigil in silence. Let the giant guide the path unseen. Let Atlas pass between them, its emerald cloak trailing across the black. And let yourself drift, knowing that even when our eyes are blind, the cosmos arranges other eyes, other perspectives, to keep the story alive. When Atlas emerges again from solar glare, Earth will rejoin the witness. But Mars and Jupiter will already have spoken, their roles already played. The comet will continue on, indifferent yet luminous, carrying the memory of its passage. And we too will carry the memory not only of Atlas itself, but of what it revealed, that we are not alone in watching, that the universe itself provides witnesses, that every traveler is seen, even in the darkest silence. When Atlas sweeps past Mars and feels the guiding hand of Jupiter's gravity, it leaves us more than data. It leaves us lessons. Every comet is a teacher, but an interstellar one speaks with a louder voice. It comes not from our own backyard, but from another star, carrying chemistry, structure, and story foreign to our experience. What does Atlas teach us, here on Earth, as we watch its emerald light vanish into glare and wait for its return? The first lesson is humility. Science has made us bold, confident in our ability to predict, to calculate, to control. Yet Atlas broke our models. It brightened too quickly, spread a coma too vast, grew a tail that pointed the wrong way. The numbers could not keep up with its defiance. For astronomers, this is humbling. The universe is not bound by our expectations. It is wilder, stranger, freer. To be reminded of this is not failure, but grace. Humility keeps curiosity alive. The second lesson is patience. Atlas's greatest transformations happen unseen, behind the sun's glare. We must wait weeks to know whether it survives perihelion. In a world that demands instant answers, the cosmos teaches us to pause, to endure not knowing. Patience is not weakness, but wisdom. The ability to trust that revelation comes in its time. For humanity, addicted to immediacy, Atlas whispers, "Slow down." The universe moves at its own rhythm, and so must you. The third lesson is connection. Atlas is not of us, not of our sun, yet it touches us. Its chemistry drifts across our skies. Its light brushes our dreams. It reminds us that we are part of a galaxy alive with exchange. Stars give birth to comets. Comets wander. Wanderers cross systems. Matter is not confined. It moves, it mingles, it shares. Perhaps life itself is carried this way, seeds drifting between suns. Atlas tells us that we are not separate islands. We are threads in a vast fabric, woven by forces older than memory. Pause here, listener. Let these lessons rest within you. Humility, patience, connection. They are not abstract. They are lullabies. As you breathe, you embody humility, the awareness of fragility. As you rest, you practice patience, the courage to wait. As you dream, you feel connection, the quiet truth that you are part of something vast. Atlas glows above, but its light shines also within you. There are scientific lessons too, practical and profound. Atlas challenges our understanding of cometary chemistry, showing us compositions dominated by CO2 and diatomic carbon. It pushes us to improve our models of dust dynamics, plasma interactions, and brightness evolution. It reveals that interstellar visitors may be far more diverse than imagined, each carrying unique fingerprints of their birth systems. These insights shape the future of astronomy, guiding how we design telescopes, how we plan missions, how we prepare for the next traveler. For planetary defense, Atlas is another lesson. Though harmless in its trajectory, it reminds us that interstellar bodies arrive without warning. We detected it only months before perihelion. What if one came larger, faster, aimed at Earth? Preparation must grow. Telescopes like the Vera Rubin Observatory will expand our vigilance. Space missions may one day intercept such visitors, not only to study them, but to protect ourselves. Atlas shows us both beauty and urgency, the dual truths of wonder and responsibility. The comet also teaches about perspective. From Earth, blinded by glare, we lose it. From Mars, orbiters keep watch. From Jupiter, gravity bends its path. No one vantage holds the whole story. To see clearly, we must combine perspectives. For humanity, this is a metaphor. No culture, no nation, no discipline sees the whole. Only together, through shared vision, does truth emerge. Atlas embodies this, a cosmic traveler reminding us that collaboration is the path to understanding. Philosophy joins the lesson. Atlas reminds us that impermanence is not loss but transformation. Its coma will fade, its glow will vanish, its path will carry it away forever. Yet in passing, it has already changed us. We will never forget the Emerald Traveler. Memory, not permanence, is the true gift. This, too, applies to our lives. Beauty is fleeting, but it matters because it is fleeting. To hold something for a moment is enough. In myth, comets were often omens of doom. Kings trembled, priests prayed. Yet Atlas suggests a different reading. It is not omen, but mirror. It reflects our hopes, our fears, our capacity for wonder. For some, it is a sign of life's seeds drifting across the galaxy. For others, it is a reminder of fragility, of limits. For you, it may simply be a lullaby, a story that carries you into rest. All are true. For Atlas is not message, but mirror. Close your eyes now and imagine the lessons as stars. Humility glows faint, but steady. Patience shines dim, but enduring. Connection flickers green, alive and new. Together, they form a constellation, one you carry within your heart. Atlas is the spark that lights them, but you are the one who holds them. As you drift into sleep, you carry not only the comet's image, but its wisdom. The scientific community will debate, measure, publish. The data will shape careers, missions, theories. But the deeper lesson belongs to all of us. We are not only observers of the cosmos. We are participants in its story. Atlas has come, sung its emerald song, and will leave. We remain, listening, learning, dreaming. That is enough. So let the comet's lessons soothe you. Let humility quiet your pride. Let patience soften your hurry. Let connection remind you that you are never alone. The galaxy is vast. The stars are many. The wanderers cross between them. And tonight, one such wanderer has passed near, leaving behind light, questions, and wisdom. That is the true gift of Atlas, not only knowledge, but meaning. Atlas has given us many lessons of humility, patience, and connection. Yet one gift remains, softer, subtler, perhaps the most important of all. It is the gift of rhythm, of rest, of song. For in the emerald glow of this comet, drifting silently across the sky, we can hear not only the clamor of data, but also the whisper of a lullaby. Atlas is not just a traveler. It is music written in light, a lullaby of the stars. Astronomers measure spectra, chart brightness, debate nuclei and chemistry. But beyond the graphs, there is cadence. The periodic outbursts of gas, the pulsing of brightness, the ebb and flow of tails all create a rhythm, a slow cosmic heartbeat. To us on Earth, it becomes a gentle song, one we cannot hear with ears but can feel with imagination. The universe is full of such songs, if only we pause long enough to listen. Atlas sings in green, a note carried across light years, soothing as it is strange. Pause here, listener. Close your eyes and imagine the sound of Atlas. Not noise, not chaos, but a hum, deep and steady, woven into the silence of space. Imagine its coma as a choir of molecules, each carbon atom releasing a note of emerald light. Imagine its tails as strings plucked by solar wind, vibrating with resonance. What you hear is not physics alone. It is lullaby the cosmos cradling you as you drift into sleep. Cultures have long connected the stars with music. The Pythagoreans spoke of the music of the spheres, a harmony created by celestial motions. Indigenous traditions often describe the sky as a drum, the stars as dancers keeping time. In lullabies around the world, mothers sing of moonlight, of stars, of journeys across the night. Atlas, appearing now, becomes part of that tradition. It is not only a comet, it is a verse in the galaxy's cradle song. The science of rhythm is real too. Comets breathe in cycles. Jets erupt, fade, return. Rotation modulates brightness. Chemistry creates repeating pulses of light. Atlas, like all comets, lives in pattern. To scientists, these patterns are clues. To us, they are lullaby. The same oscillations that reveal spin rate also soothe the restless heart. The same fluctuations that chart sublimation also rock us gently into calm. Knowledge and rest are not enemies. They are companions in the rhythm of Atlas. There is tenderness in this thought, for interstellar comets are wanderers, lonely and long exiled. Yet, in their passage, they offer comfort. Atlas has traveled millions of years across cold darkness. It has endured silence deeper than we can imagine. And now, in its brief moment near our sun, it glows not fiercely, but softly, in green. It does not roar, it hums, it does not threaten, it soothes. Its lullaby tells us, you too are part of the stars. You too are carried by rhythms older than memory. Philosophy deepens the metaphor. In Buddhist practice, breath itself is song inhale, exhale, the most ancient mantra. In African oral traditions, rhythm is not only music but life, the heartbeat of community and cosmos alike. In lullabies across cultures, repetition is comfort. The same words, the same melody, again and again, until sleep comes. Atlas joins that rhythm. Its emerald glow repeats, its tails sway, its coma expands and contracts. It becomes part of the universal chorus that says, rest, trust, drift. Pause again, listener. Breathe with the comet. Inhale as its coma expands. Exhale as its light fades. Inhale as its tails flare. Exhale as they soften. You are not separate from its rhythm. You are joined to it. Across millions of kilometers, across the silence of space, you and Atlas share the same lullaby. Science benefits too. By studying these rhythms, brightness variations, periodic jets, plasma interactions, astronomers learn about spin rates, surface structures, chemical layers. Every lull in brightness tells of rotation. Every surge of light tells of an outburst. What is lullaby to us is data to them. And yet, in truth, both are the same. Pattern. To measure is to listen. To listen is to be soothed. Atlas bridges the two. The lullaby of Atlas also speaks to impermanence. Songs end, comets fade. Atlas will soon pass out of sight, its glow diminishing as it retreats into interstellar space. The lullaby will end, at least for our ears. But endings are not failure. Every lullaby ends when the child has fallen asleep. Every comet departs after its brief song. The beauty lies in the fleetingness. The galaxy sings to us for a moment, then withdraws, leaving us to dream. Close your eyes now and imagine the scene one last time. The sky above is dark, yet in its depths, a green comet hums softly. Its coma shimmers like a veil. Its tails sway like strings of a harp. The sun's wind plucks them, creating chords we cannot hear but can feel. The galaxy itself is the singer, Atlas its verse. The song is not about fear or mystery. It is about rest, about surrender, about being held in rhythms older than Earth. This, perhaps, is Atlas's greatest lesson. Beyond chemistry and physics, beyond debates and data, it reminds us that the universe does not only challenge, it also comforts, it cradles, it sings. To listen to Atlas is to remember that we are children of the stars, rocked to sleep by their lullabies. So let yourself rest now. Let the emerald light close your eyes. Let the hum of molecules soothe your heart. Let the rhythm of tales and comas carry you into dreams. Atlas, the wanderer, sings tonight, not in words, but in light. And its lullaby is enough. Every story has its ending, and every comet has its departure. For 3 I divided by Atlas, the tale does not end with destruction or collision, but with retreat, a slow fading into the black from which it came. By late November and December 2025, once it has passed perihelion and re-emerged from the glare, telescopes on Earth will search the skies again. They may find an intact nucleus, still breathing faintly in green. They may find fragments, scattered into smaller bodies. Or they may find nothing but dust, a memory already dissolving. Whatever the outcome, the truth will settle. Atlas will be leaving us forever. Unlike comets bound to our sun, Atlas carries no promise of return. Its orbit is hyperbolic, steep, and final. Once it departs, gravity will fling it outward into interstellar space, never to circle back. It will vanish beyond our reach, another wanderer drifting between the stars. To know this is bittersweet. We have witnessed its brilliance, but we cannot keep it. We are allowed only a glimpse, a single chapter in its endless journey. And yet, in that glimpse, there is a mirror. For Atlas, in its emerald glow and impossible coma, reflects more than its own story. It reflects us. The questions we asked, the fears we projected, the wonder we felt, all were our own. The comet was silent, but we filled it with meaning. Messenger, dancer, trickster, lullaby. In its passage, it became not just an object of study, but a mirror of humanity itself. Pause here, listener. Close your eyes and imagine looking into that mirror. What do you see? Perhaps humility, the recognition that our knowledge has limits. Perhaps hope, the dream that life's seeds wander across the galaxy. Perhaps awe, the reminder that beauty does not need permanence to matter. Atlas shows us not only who it is, but who we are, fragile, searching, awake. Scientists will write papers. They will analyze spectra, calculate mass loss, model trajectories. Their work will shape textbooks, prepare missions, refine theories. But beyond the data, the legacy of Atlas will be softer. It will be remembered as the comet that glowed too green, grew too large, defied too many rules. It will be remembered as the visitor that unsettled and soothed at once. It will be remembered as the mirror that showed us both the vastness of the galaxy and the intimacy of our own hearts. In myth, mirrors often reveal hidden truths. They show not only the surface, but the soul. Atlas has been such a mirror. In its defiance, it showed us resilience. In its brightness, it showed us fragility. In its vanishing, it showed us impermanence. And in its song, it showed us rest. The galaxy held up a mirror, and we, for a brief moment, looked into it. The comet's departure also teaches us about time. We are brief. Our lives span decades. Atlas has wandered for millions of years. We cannot follow it, cannot accompany it. Yet in our short window, we saw it. That seeing matters. It reminds us that meaning is not measured in duration, but in depth. A moment can be enough. A glimpse can be a gift. Even fleeting beauty changes us. Pause again. Imagine Atlas fading, its emerald glow dimming, its tails thinning into nothing. It retreats into dark silence, but the memory remains. You carry it with you now, in your breath, in your dreams. Its mirror stays even when its body is gone. That is the nature of endings. The object leaves, the reflection lingers. There are practical endings, too. The data collected will inspire missions to intercept future visitors. The Vera Rubin Observatory, set to begin full operations, may detect dozens more. Space agencies may prepare interceptors, ready to launch at a moment's notice. Atlas is not just story, it is catalyst. It pushes us toward a future where we study such travelers directly, where we no longer rely on glimpses alone. In that sense, the mirror it offers is also a map. It shows us where to go next. But for you, lying here in quiet, the mirror is personal. What do you see in Atlas? Do you see resilience, a body surviving its trial of fire? Do you see fragility, a traveler breaking under pressure? Do you see yourself enduring, fragile, luminous, all at once? The comet does not tell you what to see. It only holds up the glass. You must decide what your reflection means. In the end, Atlas reminds us of our place. We are children of a small planet around a small star, yet we are capable of looking outward, of seeing visitors from other suns, of finding meaning in their passage. We are small, yes, but we are not blind. We are brief, yes, but we are not without wonder. Atlas glows, and we answer with stories. That is enough to make the universe feel intimate, even as it remains infinite. Close your eyes one last time in this journey. Imagine the comet as a mirror, drifting slowly away. Its green light softens, its shape dissolves, but in its reflection you see yourself humble, connected, alive. You see the galaxy, not as distant, but as home. You see the stars, not as silent, but as singers of lullabies. Atlas has left, but it has also stayed, in the way all mirrors stay, holding our image even after we turn away. So let yourself drift now, gently, into sleep. The mirror at the end does not close the story. It opens it, reflecting back to you the truths you already carried, that the cosmos is vast, that life is fragile, that beauty is fleeting, that wonder endures. Atlas has come and gone, but its lullaby remains, soft and endless. The mirror is yours to keep.